Where do we begin? Where do we begin? South Africa won, Nigeria won. FIFA World Cup qualifier. A do or die game, an extremely crucial match, has ended in a draw. It looks like the Super Eagles are going to be on the outside looking in for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Maybe we can finish second. Maybe we can make it through the playoffs. Maybe South Africa can lose their remaining 2 matches and we can overtake them. What can I say? A disappointing result. A disappointing result. A disappointing result. A disappointing result. So many things that I can talk about. So many things that I can talk about. But ultimately, the most important thing, the only thing that matters here is that we did not win the game. We drew the game. And obviously, this does not help us at all. We're still 6 points behind South Africa. Even if they lose 3 points, we are still going to be 3 points behind them. And then we have to win our remaining 2 matches and hope that they draw points along the way. Is it possible? In football, anything is possible. Is it likely? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. Very unlikely. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if we draw one of our remaining 2 matches, to be honest, because the Super Eagles have not given me that confidence or that hope. They just haven't. They just haven't. They just haven't. Oh, man. Where am I going to start from talking about this game? First of all, South Africa, man. This is South Africa that hosted the FIFA World Cup in 2010. That pitch was terrible. The grass outside my house is better than that pitch. I'm telling you, they might as well have come to play the game outside my house. The pitch was terrible. 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 Now, I know they would say, oh, but both teams played on the pitch. Yes, both teams played on the pitch. But obviously, it's hard to have a free-flowing game. It's hard to play your natural game. It's hard to run with the ball. Even passes, you have to be very careful with your passes because you know that you want to play a straight pass, the ball is going to bubble up 3-4 times. That pitch was terrible. 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 But is that an excuse? No, it is not an excuse. No, it is not an excuse. No, it is not. No, it is not. We knew the pitch was terrible before the game. The players trained on that terrible pitch. They should have been ready. They should have done everything to get the results. They didn't. They didn't. I'll talk through the game very quickly. I'll give my match ratings. I'll talk about what I liked, what I didn't like. And then I'll give people a chance to come and share their thoughts. If you are joining me on Instagram, on Facebook, or on X, please join me on YouTube. The stream is going to end on Instagram. The stream is going to end on other platforms. So please join me on YouTube. I see there's a lot of people on Instagram. Please make sure you go to YouTube. Search for Eagles Tracker on YouTube and join the stream. Join the stream on YouTube. Okay. First of all, from the starting 11, Eric Shell surprised us. He did. You know, when I saw it, I initially thought, oh, could this be a back three? But no, he decided to go with Calvin Bassey playing a left back. So he wanted to play a little bit more conservative, a little bit more solid in defense, respecting the South African players and respecting their quality. I understand that a little bit. I understand it a little bit. But obviously, it means that we're sacrificing something going forward on that left side. If Bassey is playing left back, we don't have the same, movements down the flank. The game started, the first real action in the game, Olaino was beaten quite easily by the left winger for South Africa. I keep on getting his name wrong. The left winger, what's his name again? Apolis. Yes, Apolis. Olaino was beaten quite easily. That was like the first action. It already did not fill me with confidence, but all I know, I always expect him to bounce back. Indeed, he started the game doing very good work in the middle. He was winning interceptions. He was winning first balls, second balls in the air. Wasn't allowing things to get past him. I thought that was nice. Frederick showed his ball playing ability, progressed the ball quite well. He gave the ball to Moses Simon early in the game. Moses Simon from the left side wasted the opportunity, just could not make anything out of it. Then the next thing that happened of note for me was Osai Samuel giving away the ball in the box that nearly led to a chance for South Africa. Nwabali saved it, so it did lead to a chance. Nwabali saved it, and then the rebound was offside. But I looked at that action very well, and I think that Osai Samuel Benjamin Frederick set Osai Samuel up with that pass that he gave him. Yes, Osai Samuel could and should still have dealt with it, but it was a very bad back pass in close proximity from Benjamin Frederick. I thought maybe that's a little bit of his inexperience, or just that not knowing the best decision to make in that moment. I thought it was a bad pass by Benjamin Frederick. Osai Samuel didn't deal with it. They took a shot. Nwabali saved, thankfully. But these jittery moments to start the game were already not filling me with confidence. They were just not filling me with confidence. I have to go back again because I had it in my notes. That pitch is an eyesore. The pitch was terrible. You could see the ball bubbling up. Short passes on the ground. The ball is bubbling 3 times. It was just a terrible, terrible, terrible pitch. It was just a terrible pitch. For a country that hosted the World Cup before, I don't know how they allowed their pitch to get this bad. Oh man, like it was just terrible to watch, terrible for the players to play on. You could see the players falling down, getting their feet stuck in the grass, potential for so many injuries. And I'm not surprised that the number of people had to go down with injuries in this game. The pitch was just bad. It was just bad. It was just bad. Again, I don't think it's an excuse, but it's something that I just have to talk about because it was that bad. It was that bad. Now, moving on to what was happening in the game. Lau Foster beat Ekong fairly easily. I think in this game, it was evidence that Ekong cannot deal with pace. I was somebody that in my match preview yesterday, I said I would have started Ekong. In hindsight, I see that Ekong really could not handle the pace of the opposition. He really could not. Hindsight is 2020. I see it clearly now. I thought his experience would come into play. Obviously, didn't. Ekong just could not handle the pace of the South African players. Foster beat Ekong easily. He crossed it. And Benjamin Frederick makes another mistake. Now, this is Frederick that has been assured previously. Made another mistake and completely fluffed his clearance. Fluffed it. Thankfully, the ball did not fall to South African. I think it fell to either Calvin Bassey or somebody. And then we're able to clear that one easily. But again, these are things that are happening in the first half. These are things that were not inspiring any confidence in terms of what to expect from the Super Eagles in this match. It just was not inspiring confidence. I was surprised that in the opening 25 or 30 minutes of the game, Frederick had already made 2 mistakes. It was honestly quite surprising to me because we know how composed and calm Frederick is on the ball usually. Mokoena was making things happen for South Africa in the midfield. Indeed, he was very isolated, which is something that I spoke about in my match preview as well. I thought that if we played only one holding midfielder, which we did today, we played Ndidi alone as the defensive midfielder, and we could see how difficult it was for him. Even though he was trying hard, it was not easy for him to follow and keep up with the pace of the game. There were times when Mokoena was just running past him. You see 2 South African players with only Wilfred Ndidi in the midfield. He just couldn't do too much about it. He gave the ball away in midfield one time. Foster just couldn't bring the ball under control, and then Benjamin Frederick recovered very well and cut out the danger. In that first half, Fisayo Dele-Bashiru on the right side, passenger. Dele-Bashiru and I were having the same level of effects in the game in that first half. The same level of effects, nothing. Dele-Bashiru in that first half could as well just have been at home watching the game the way I was watching it at home. The first half was not it. The first half was not it. From Dele-Bashiru. They were not getting him involved. I know people were talking about Cyril Dessers as well. In that first half, there was nothing for Dessers to feed on. I'm not going to criticize Dessers like that because he just was not getting anything come to him. He was getting no service. There were not even balls for him to hold up. Nothing. We were just not really at it in the first half. And this has kind of been something that we've seen in back-to-back games. In the Rwanda game, in our first half, we also were not good. We came to life in the second half, just like we came to life a little bit more in the second half of the game against South Africa today. But that first half, I'm not going to criticize this as Moses Simon's contribution, I will say, in the first half, even in the second half, was not at it at all. I don't know if it's because of the pitch and maybe he was not confident after the first 2 or 3 times that the ball just couldn't get to the place that he wanted to get the ball to, and he was stopped by his defender. But he just was not at it today. And then after he couldn't beat his man the first 1, 2, 3 times, he then decided to try to take some first-time crosses. The first-time crosses were just being headed away easily by South African defenders. It did not work for Moses Simon. It just did not work for Moses Simon. And I'm a person that thinks Moses Simon is a good player, but the way the game went today, there was just nothing exciting about it. There was just nothing exciting about it. I have to look at his stats properly to see exactly what it was. 0 of 4 crosses accurate, 0 of 2 long balls accurate, only 1 completed dribble, lost possession 14 times. It wasn't the best for Moses Simon in today's game. I will say that. It wasn't the best for Moses Simon in the game. Halftime, the coach makes changes. He brings on Tola Rokudare for Cyril Dessers. He takes William Troost-Ekong. Oh, sorry. I have to talk about the goal. Sorry. Look at me jumping too far ahead. I have to talk about the goal that we conceded and the goal that we scored. The goal that we conceded, again, Ekong just could not keep up with the pace. But I'm someone that I have to look at cause and effect. I have to look at how the goal was conceded. I think that in this moment, Benjamin Frederick also did not cover himself in glory. I know people will not like the fact that I'm talking about Benjamin Frederick like this because everybody likes him and I know that he has a very bright future. I'm not taking that away from him. But for the goal that we conceded, Benjamin Frederick's position on the first pass was not good. He was far behind the rest of his defensive line. Now, I don't know why he would be playing cover. Ekong is the slower one, so Ekong is usually the one that will be playing cover. So I thought Benjamin Frederick's position just wasn't good. He played everybody onside. The ball was played in behind. And then he tried to recover. He tried to make the recovering run to then get to the, I think it was Nkota that got him behind our defense. And then Benjamin Frederick tried to make that recovery run, got there in space. Positioning wasn't good. Opened his legs up. The ball went through his leg. And then William Troost-Ekong, for a player of that experience, for a player of his magnitude, for an AFCON MVP, he needs to be better prepared and he needs his body shape to be better to deal with a ball like that. I think that I blame the both of them for that goal. Now, I know it's not the popular opinion. I'm not attacking Frederick. I don't know why people don't understand. But I think that the two of them are at fault for that goal. I think Frederick should have been better positioned. And I think that he could have covered up that pass better. Again, go and watch the game. Go and watch the goal again. I think that the first pass could have been avoided if Frederick wasn't far behind his defensive line and playing everyone onside. And then also when he tried to recover and he tried to stop the cross, I think he could have done better. Does it mean that he was terrible in the game? No. Does it mean that it was bad? No. But for that goal, I think he could have done better. And Ekong absolutely should have done better. I'm going to put more blame on Ekong's head because Ekong is the senior player. Ekong is the one that ultimately put it into the back of the net. Ekong is the one that ultimately made the big error. But again, when I look at football, I don't just look at what led to the goal, or rather who scored the own goal or who made the final error. I think that those things could have been prevented. I don't expect everybody to agree with me because people watch football differently. But that's my opinion on it. I think that the both of them could have prevented that goal. I think they could have prevented that goal. Okay, I'll move on. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Go and watch the goal again. I'm not going to debate with people that are not this thing. But yes, moving on. 44th minute, we end up scoring our own goal. Once Calvin Bassey took that ball and he drove forward initially, you could see the anger in him. You could see the ginger in him. You could see him want to make something happen. And that was something that I was very happy about, because sometimes you want your big players to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And that is something that Calvin Bassey tried to do. He dragged the ball forward. I think he laid it off to Iwobi. The ball ends up going to the right side. Fisayo Bashiru crosses the ball. And then Calvin Bassey heads it against his own arm, and then it goes into the back of the net. Now, objectively, the goal should have been disallowed. No doubt about that. The goal should absolutely have been disallowed. That one, I cannot argue that the goal should have been disallowed. But I'll take the Ojoro, man. We would have lost this game if not for that. So I will take the Ojoro. If there was VAR, that goal doesn't stand. It just doesn't. It should not have counted. It should not have counted. But that's how we got our goal. And then getting that goal right before the halftime break, I thought was a very big moment for us, because that helps us to really go into the break and then know that we can come back in the second half and do something. We can come back in the second half and we can win the game. And I thought that the coach realized some of the errors that the team was making in the first half. And he came for the second half. He made 2 changes. He brought on Toluwa Lasharo Kodare, tried to play more of a long ball strategy, also brought on Bruno Oyemechi, and then moved Ekong out of the centre back, moved Calvin Bassey from left back to the centre back row. So now we had more going forward on the left side from Bruno. And then, we had more legs, because Ekong showed in the first half that his legs just couldn't keep up. I feel sad about talking about William Ekong like this, because we know how good a servant Ekong has been for the national team. And we know the good performances that he has put in the past. But he has shown it, man, that I guess at this point, Ekong himself said he wanted to retire from the national team before the AFCON. And I'm not saying he should retire, but I'm just saying that I think he has lost his place in the starting 11 for the Super Eagles. And it's rather unfortunate. When you score an own goal like this in a big game like this, as the captain of the national team, it just does not bode well or look good. So yes, the coach made those changes at halftime. And in the second half, we looked the more likely to score. As the game went on. We definitely looked the more likely to score. Tolu had one opportunity where he tried to beat his man, or he did beat his man, and then he played a ball across the face of the goal. Now, I thought he was trying to shoot, because I don't really think that was a cross from him. He played the ball with the outside of his foot. Maybe he wanted to just get that spin on it and get it into the back of the net. Had it gone in, that would have been a beautiful goal. But it did not go in. And then I think Lookman and somebody else might have been coming into the box. So you might say, oh, why didn't he look up and try to find somebody else? But had it gone in, it would have been a beautiful goal. But it did not go in. Nobody was there to tap it in. And unfortunately, that chance went begging. We started to play more diagonal balls to Fisayo Bashiru, and we saw Dele Bashiru come into the match more in the second half. He was finding that space behind their left back. It wasn't Odrio Modibo that started for them, which surprised me a little bit. But Dele Bashiru started to find that space behind their left back. It was trying to make things happen, couldn't quite get it right. Then South Africa had a counter attack where Benjamin Frederick did absolutely well to deal with Lau Foster. I thought in the second half, Frederick handled Lau Foster quite well. He showed his strength. He showed that he has pace. Benjamin Frederick showed that he had legs, especially in that second half. And I thought he did quite well. Playing against a Premier League striker like Foster cannot be easy for a young player like him. So I was quite happy with that. There was a moment of, almost magic where Mbokazi ran through the middle, ran past Wilfred Ndidi, saw Stanley Nwabali off his line, and he took a shot from distance. At first when he took the shot, I was like, what's this guy trying? But then when you see how far off his line Nwabali was, that ball easily could have gone into the back of the net. And the ball just wasn't a perfectly struck one. But I don't know why Nwabali was that far off his line, to be honest. Nwabali in moments in the game had good sweeper actions. So maybe that's why. Maybe he wants to be off his line so that in case of any long balls, in case he has to run out, he's there. But that was nearly a good one. There was also a moment where Calvin Bassey just slept on the job, just absolutely slept on the job. Lau Foster came from behind, stole the ball, and then he tried to recover. The angle was just too tight, then combined with the pressure from Calvin Bassey, Lau Foster couldn't keep his shot on target, couldn't get it, low enough. It was at the end of the day not too dangerous a shot, but just a moment of lack of concentration from Calvin Bassey. And on another day, if there was somebody for him to square the ball to, or if he got the shot on target, that could have really cost us. And I'm not sure why something like that would happen, or why Calvin Bassey would just lose concentration in a moment like that. There was another counter attack leads in the game, and another time that Benjamin Frederick did a really good job showing his pace, showing his physicality, keeping up with Lau Foster, stop the attack. I think the final one wasn't even Lau Foster. I don't remember exactly who it was. But Frederick again showed his pace, showed his skill. And yeah, the game kind of fizzled out towards the end of it. Towards the end of the game, Crisanto Uche had come on at this point to replace Wilfred Ndidi. I thought Uche took a very unnecessary, ill-advised shot. Towards the end of the game, I think it was like with a minute and a half left in stoppage time. The edge of the box, you could have found somebody better. You could have done a little bit better. And he just took a shot, and the shot was way, 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 way off target. Way off target. And that was disappointing. Somebody in my group chat said, "Oh, this number 18 should not play for Nigeria again." I'm not going to judge Crisanto Suchi off of that one bad decision, but again, he could have done way, 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 way better with that. Way better with that. He could have done way better with that. So yeah, that's how the game ended. 1-1. Nigeria drop points. Our World Cup qualification hopes look very, very, very slim. And yeah, we live to fight another day. We have to hope that we can get positive results in the mini games. And then let me go into my match ratings. But before I do, people like Kelly Kester and others that are on Instagram that are talking and complaining, I'm about to end the stream there. So please join me on YouTube. I would love to hear from you. I understand that people disagree with some things that I say. So please join me. Explain to me. Let's have football debates. Everything is not about insulting people. It's not about saying, "Oh, what you don't know what you're saying." Let's talk. When I say things that people agree with, oh, they love me and I'm the smartest football person. When I say things that they disagree with, all of a sudden I don't know how to watch football. I'm used to it on social media. But Kelly Kester, you're a player yourself. Come and talk. Let's see how well you can communicate football as well as anybody that's in the comments. But yes, Instagram, the stream is ending, so please join me on YouTube ASAP. Okay, let us get into the match ratings for today's game. Stanley Nwabali in goal. He made one save. He had one punch. It didn't have too much to do. Came off his line to clear the ball a couple of times. Didn't make any mistakes. Didn't really put us in any unfortunate situations. Didn't really put us under any undue pressure. I think it was, steady Eddie performance. I'll give him a 6.5. He didn't do anything good. He didn't do anything bad per se. So I'm going to credit him with a 6.5 for that one. Calvin Bassey started from the left side of the defense. Calvin Bassey, of course, scored the goal for Nigeria. Was also quite good in defense, made one interception, made 5 clearances in the game, completed most of his passes, won 5 duels out of, I think, about 12 that he contested. And, he was just someone that was trying to make something happen for Nigeria. You could see his energy. You could see the efforts that he was putting in. So I have to give Calvin Bassey credit for that one. I'm going to give Calvin Bassey a 7.5 rating in today's game. I thought he did quite well. I thought he was one of the better players on the field. William Troost-Ekong playing from left side of the center back. What can I say? He only played 45 minutes, but his 45 minutes were nothing to write home about. Was off the pace. Of course, he scored that own goal. It's just sad, man. I like Ekong. I don't want to disrespect our skipper, but yeah, it just wasn't it today. I'll give Ekong a 5.5. I'll give Ekong a 5.5. I think that for that goal, even though I say that I think that Benjamin Frederick could have positioned himself better and he could have maybe prevented the cross or done better to prevent the cross, Ekong should not be scoring an own goal there. Ekong should be getting his shape right. He should be able to clear that ball away. He should not be putting that ball into the back of the net. So, the young man might have been out of position, but his Kipo, his captain, that was supposed to be the experienced one and be the solid one and the sure one, was not. Ekong, 5.5 in today's game. I was not happy at all. Benjamin Frederick over, right side of the defense, didn't have any tackle, but had one interception and he had 12 clearances, and he had moments where he stopped counter attacks. He had moments where he showed strength, he showed pace to really quell the danger that the South Africans were posing. He was strong in his doors, which is something that I really, really like. His passing was accurate, completed 30 of his 35 passes, 86% pass completion. So in the first half, I thought Frederick could have done better because he had the bad pass for Brother Sai Samuel. He had the one that he fluffed his line on his clearance. Of course, it didn't lead to anything, so we can't knock him too much for that. And then of course the goal, I think that our defender could have done better in that situation as well. But overall, in the second half, he really came into the game. He really showed himself. He was more settled. I'm going to give Benjamin Frederick a 7 out of 10 in this game. I thought he did quite well overall in the game. I think that the things that I'm talking about are things that with experience, with time, with more games, with more playing at this level, he will get better at. He will learn. When they're coming towards Frederick is very assured. But I find that when the game is not coming towards him, his positioning can be suspect. Now, people might disagree with me because I know that everybody likes the boy and everybody thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. I also think he's a good player. I think that he's going to be a long-term Super Eagles player. I think that he has a very bright future ahead, but I'm trying to be objective in my analysis and in what I'm seeing. I think that off the ball, his position can be better. I think so. You don't have to agree. All I know, right back, all I know did not really get to play more than any. I think he played 10 minutes in the game before going off with an injury. He got beat early in the match, and other than that, didn't really have too much to do before he got off with that injury. So I'm not going to give Olaiano a match rating. In the midfield, I'm going to look at Wilfred Ndidi. Wilfred Ndidi, I thought he started the game quite well, but eventually started to become overrun in the midfield because he didn't really have support from Alex Iwobi in terms of a defensive contribution. He won 5 goals in the game. He lost possession a few too many times, and then one of the times that he lost possession led to a chance, or a potential opportunity for South Africa to score. He made 2 tackles, 1 interception, 1 clearance, So I'll give Wilfred Ndidi a 6.5 in this game as well. I thought it was an, okay performance. Didn't really make any major errors, didn't do anything bad, but also did not stand out for me. Alex Iwobi played the entire game. I think he had one of the most touches of any players in the forward part of the team, other than the defenders. Most of his long balls, I think about 50% long ball completion rate, so not too great. He lost most of his goals. He lost possession 17 times. Not the best performance from Alex Iwobi today. I don't like the way Iwobi gets used by the coach. I don't like the way Iwobi gets used in the Super Eagles. I think that we should be giving him the ball in more advanced positions and trying to get him to make things happen for us. A lot of the time you see Alex will be dropping back to maybe just beside Calvin Bassey, trying to receive the ball, and then he has to try to make something happen from there. I don't think that is working for Alex Iwobi. We need to figure it out. I'm going to give Iwobi a 6.5 out of 10 as well. I think it was an average performance, not great, nothing to really talk about. Ademola Lookman played the entire match in this game, but unfortunately, Ademola Lookman just couldn't impose himself in this match at all. He didn't create any chances. He didn't have any chances for himself. I think he took 1 shot in the game where it was blocked. He lost most of his duels. I don't know. He just didn't really look like the Ademola Lookman that we know. He just didn't look like the Ademola Lookman that we know. Maybe it's because of his match fitness, having not played any game for his club this season, although he played in the Rwanda game. I know Ademola Lookman is a good player, so I'm not going to come and bash him. I'm not going to come and insult him or say negative things about him. But in today's game, I just was not feeling Ademola Lookman's contribution at all. I understand the coach keeping him on the field for that long because he's our next best player after Victor Osimhen, and Victor Osimhen was not in this game. But I'm going to give Ademola Lookman a 6.25 maybe. I wasn't impressed. I just wasn't impressed. I think he can and should be doing more in a match like this. We also had Moses Simon. Moses Simon playing from the left side. He played 78 minutes of the game. Moses Simon just was not at it today. He couldn't beat his man. He couldn't complete his crosses. 4 crosses, all, off targets. 2 long balls. None of them got to the player. Just could not make it work today. And Moses Simon, normally you expect him to work hard and contribute in defense. Yes, there were times where he tried to help the defenders, but it just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. I've defended Simon in the past, but today I really cannot defend his contribution. I feel like with the amount of space that he got the ball in sometimes, he definitely should have done better, and he definitely should have created more opportunities for us. He definitely should have been more involved in good things happening for the Super Eagles, which just did not happen. I'm going to give Moses Simon a 6.25 also. I think, yeah, he just was not at it. Fisayo Dele Bashiru got the assist for Calvin Bassey's arm of God goal. But in the first half, largely Fisayo Dele Bashiru was a passenger. In the second half, he came into the game a bit more, started to try to get him behind his defender, but he lost most of his duels. He didn't impose himself on the game like I would have hoped that he would impose himself. I'm going to give Fisayo Dele Bashiru a 6.5. Average performance, nothing too great, nothing for me to be excited about, but also I'm not going to bash him at all. Cyril Dessers played the opening 45 minutes. Like I said, I just think that Cyril Dessers did not have any opportunity to get involved in the game. In the 45 minutes that he played, he only touched the ball 6 times, and four of those touches were passes, and he completed all the passes. Maybe one was from kickoff or two were from, two were just simple passes, but he wasn't involved in the game at all. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I can't knock him too much, but I also can't praise him for anything that he did in today's game. Over to the substitutes. But Osai Samuel came on for Olaino, and I thought Osai Samuel actually was okay today. Usually when Osai Samuel comes on, I'm not too confident in his defensive ability because I think Osai Samuel sometimes can be out of position or can just not be that good in terms of his defending. But in today's game, I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was bad. He had 5 clearances. He made 1 tackle. He was dribbled past twice, which is never good as a fullback. But again, even in the first 10 minutes that Olaino played, Olaino was dribbled past once. So maybe, what's that guy's name again? The South African left wing guy. I keep forgetting his name. But maybe the guy was just that's good and going up against a player like Apolis. Yes, maybe it was just not easy for him on the day. I'll give Batsai Samuel a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5. Average performance, nothing too good, nothing terrible about it. Bruno and Cyril and Tolu Akodare came on at halftime. I thought Tolu did quite well. I thought that he tried to make things happen. The opportunity, the short/cross that he played, I thought was quite okay. He created 1 goal scoring opportunity for us, but it wasn't his day. It wasn't his day. It wasn't his day. I'll give Tolu Kodare a 6.5. Bruno Onyemechi came on at halftime as well. Defensively, he had 5 clearances, so he contributed a little bit. But Bruno's crosses were just not quite good today. His long balls were not good. There was one long ball that he just I don't know. I think he was trying to find and switch the ball to Fisayo Dele Bashiru on the right side, and he just played it out for a throw-in. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, bro, like you're supposed to be a professional player, and that's how bad the pass is. Now I know that obviously it's a football match. You can have bad moments, you can have bad touches, you can have bad instances, but this has kind of become a theme in Bruno's game where his balls just don't get to the man. And I wasn't impressed with that in today's game. I will say that. I will say that. I like Bruno. I think that he brings something to the game, but he did not bring it to this game. So I'm going to give Bruno a 6.5. 6.5. I'll give him a very average rating. 6.5. And then the final 2 subs were Chrisantos Uche for Wilfred Ndidi and Samuel Chukwueze for Moses Simon. Chrisantos Uche, in his 20 minutes that he played, did not cover himself in glory. I will say that. When he came on, I was a bit nervous because I've said this many times and people have disagreed with me when I tell people that I don't see Chrisantos Uche doing the job of Wilfred Ndidi. He is not a tackler, interceptor, holding midfielder. People will argue, that's where he played before he became a professional. That's where he played in Nigeria. But he's not that as a professional player. It is different levels. Now, maybe this was just a bad game, but in today's game, I just thought that he did not know how to man that midfield the way Ndidi was manning the midfield. Even though Ndidi was getting beat sometimes, I thought Uche just did not really know what his role or his position was. There were times where he tried to move the ball forward, where he tried to link up with Dele Bashiru, and maybe he showed a little bit of flashes in those moments. But Uche can and should be doing much better. Obviously, usually he plays higher up the field, so maybe that is why. But even when he got higher up the field in this match, it still was not making anything happen. And then the shot that he took was just kind of like come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. In the 95th or 96th minute of the game, you get the ball on the edge of the box, and that's the shot you take when you have players to your right, to your left, and right beside you. I like Uche. I like him. I think that he has earned the spot in the national team. But today, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I'm going to give him a 6.5. He only played 20 minutes, so I cannot be too harsh. Maybe if he played longer, he could have done more. And then Samuel Chukwueze played 12 minutes. I don't really want to. I think he played one good ball. I don't really want to give him a match rating because he didn't get that much time to play. We know that Chukwueze can be a good player on his day, but a lot of the time Chukwueze can be let down by his ball decision making. But yeah, for today's game, I don't really want to rate Samuel Chukwueze. I don't think that he played enough for me to really give him a match rating. I don't think that he played enough for me to really give him a match rating. And then for the coach, Eric Shell, 2 games in a row that I think you've got it wrong in the first half, but you've also been able to figure it out to a good extent in the second half. Some people are already saying that Eric Shaw should lose his job, that he doesn't know what he's doing. I've been seeing those comments, I've seen those reactions. I don't necessarily think that he should get fired, but I think that he needs to figure it out. In his 4 World Cup qualifying matches, he won 2 and drew 2. I don't know, man. The games that he drew, the Zimbabwe game, he absolutely should have won. The South Africa game, I can forgive him for drawing. We South Africa and Nigeria is really a tough game, and then we played on a farmland that looked like it was from Djibouti. So I can understand a little bit why this game did not go according to the way that the coach might have wanted it to go. So I'm going to give the coach a 6.5. I thought the first half wasn't good from him. I thought the second half was much better. All in all, guys, I can't lie to you. I'm not optimistic. I'm not optimistic. I'm hopeful. I'm not optimistic. I wouldn't bet $1 on Nigeria qualifying for the World Cup at this point, honestly. I'm hopeful. I'm not optimistic. Even if South Africa get deducted those 3 points, it still makes things quite tough for us. They're on 17, we're on 11. They lose 3 points, they go down to 14. We stay on 11. If we both win our next game, it's essentially the same gap. Yeah. I don't see South Africa losing their next 2 matches. I absolutely just don't see that happening. They play against Zimbabwe, they play against Rwanda. I don't see them losing. To be honest, I see them winning both of those matches, to be honest. But maybe Rwanda can beat them since Rwanda beats them before. So if they lose one and they win one, they would finish with 20 points. -3, 17. If we win our 2, 17. But their goal difference will probably be superior to ours. So they would still top the group. Let's be praying for second place, man. let's be praying for second place. See, I'm trying to find all the permutations in my head that give me optimism. I think let's be praying for second place. Let's pray for second place. If we can finish second, yesterday on the Nigeria FC podcast, Smilayi was doing all the mathematics for how they are going to calculate the best second place teams because of the group that had less than the 6 teams, blah blah blah. So let's just hope that it goes the way Smilayi has pictured it. If we can win our 2 games, finish on 17, that means that we'll beat Benin along the way. So we'll finish above Benin. South Africa win their 2 games. If they beat Rwanda, we'll finish above Rwanda as well. Let's just hope for second place. I'm not optimistic. I'm not optimistic. I'm hopeful. Football is a game that anything can happen. So I'm hoping that anything happens. I'll put it like that. I'm hoping that anything happens. Yes, I know that some people want to come and disagree with me. So I'm going to open the floor now for callers, and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you're South African, rather than just laughing at us in the comments, feel free to join us and call in as well. Feel free to call in as well. I would love to hear from South Africans as well. Again, a good match on a terrible playing surface. 1-1 final score. Let me hear what you guys have to say. Thank you, Edziko, for the super chat. I appreciate it. The rest of you guys should follow his doings. Leave a super chat if you want to ask a question. if you want to give us your opinion. Somebody here said Nami badmouth Chukwueze. I don't know when I badmouthed Chukwueze, but it is well, I know that in moments like this, even me that I did not play, people will be coming for me as if I'm the one that went on the field and did not score goal or that did that did something wrong. I don't know what I did to you, but it is well. It is well. I understand the disappointment that Nigerians are feeling. Yeah. Let's get into the conversation. Mr. Wilson, welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. I actually said I'll come back and celebrate Nigeria's 2-0.
Mm,
Yeah, but it is what it is. What it is. You said it all. Your analysis were just apt, I must say. I'm not coming to disagree with you. And for me, the result is not a bad result. Just that we really needed a win. I mean, if it was not what we are paying for what we did with our home matches. For South Africa, they are playing 2 home games, so can only pray. The only thing I had was just the fact that not because he scored an own goal, but I don't know why the coach started uh, Aircom today. The South Africans are fast, and then we started um, an Aircom. That was not safe. Our last match, people were bashing the team. I said no. With the setup I saw last match, that they're going to win South Africa. And if we had kept the same setup, especially at the back line, we'll have won South Africa. I avoid their matches, and it's not. They are good. They've had the best results in these qualifiers, but it's not like they've been super. They've been like they are unbeatable. No, it's just doing the right thing. I have no problem with changes. There's Cyril wasn't his fault. He just couldn't find himself in the game, and then it happens. So I just want to say that we'll get better. If we don't make it today, we'll make it in the next World Cup.
in
Pray for
2030. Hi. I for don't born by then.
So make it there. But there's still hope. I was just checking out the tables and I was saying second place, the opportunities, the possibilities. But I mean, South Africa is playing 2 home games. Why I say 2 home games is that they are playing Rwanda at home. Zimbabwe will be playing in South Africa because they don't have a pitch. And I know they won't give them this rugby pitch they gave us, or the farmland that they called it. They will go for a good pitch. But that is what it is. We have no other country to support than Nigeria. For those calling for the sack of Shell, I wonder if you sack this Shell, I wonder what will happen to us. This man has built a team. He has done a lot of wonderful things. And then with the team, a lot of introductions. Therefore, now, for the first time in a long while, we are now having a football psychology. You can actually tell that this is what we are doing. So I think it should be left to play the Nations Cup. And if possible, take us to the next World Cup qualifiers if we don't qualify for this one. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Good up, sir. Don't worry, you'll see my super chat one of these days.
Thank you. Thank you, Wilson. I appreciate you. You know what I just remembered? I was on AIT this morning. On my show yesterday, I predicted 2-1. But I woke up feeling more nervous than I was feeling yesterday. And I went on AIT this morning. And on AIT, I predicted 1-1. And I don't like the fact that my prediction came true. Even though I was right, I don't like the fact that my prediction came true. I just remember that I was on AIT this morning and I said 1-1. The AIT hosts were trying to get me to be optimistic and to give them hope. But even me, I did not have the hope to give to somebody else. And at this point, I don't know what I'm expecting again. I saw another super chat. Let me just quickly acknowledge Real K. Real K says, we lost the World Cup tickets the moment we appointed Finidi George. I mean, hindsight is 2020. We can look at many things. I know that obviously in the moment, a lot of people thought Finidi George wasn't the right coach. So I'm not saying that you're wrong per se. Me, I look at it, I can't even lie. My own perspective on it is we messed up by letting Jose Peseiro go. If you guys have been watching me on the Nigeria FC podcast, I had my opinions about it at the time. People were criticizing him because he lost the AFCON final, but I felt like that was the most organized, the most secure that the Super Eagles had looked in a while. Yes, I know he also started the World Cup qualifiers and started badly, but he looked to have found a solution that worked at the AFCON. But people did not like it because they said it was not attacking football. So we brought Finidi to come and attack. He attacked us to to which position? Now they brought Eric Shell to come and attack. We're attacking, we know they score, we know they win match. So I don't know if Nigerians prefer to attack than to play at the World Cup, but it is what it is. Mr. Seed, welcome.
Yeah, well done, IoT. I know everybody's feeling pained,
Yes.
every Nigerian, but like I predicted, when we are doing I'll start from when we started with the transfer window. I told you, okay, if I look at the players, Eric Chell needs to play in these next two matches, players that are match fit. That's the first thing. He doesn't need to muck around with that. And that's when I mentioned Benjamin. I know you are blaming Benjamin a lot,
I'm
but
not
if you
blaming. No,
look
no,
at
no, no. Let's get this right.
no,
See,
no,
let's get this right.
you blamed him for some of the things.
So
I
I
understand,
no
but he
blame
still gave him a good
when
rating.
you say blame, it gives people a negative connotation. I'm not
Okay,
blaming him for anything, but I am
no, for
saying
the
that
goal, for the goal.
I'm not blaming him. The 90 or let me say 80% of the blame is William Trustekong. Ekong should
Okay,
have been better
okay.
positioned.
Let's leave
He
it.
should have
Then
shaped
that's
it. He should
okay.
have shaped it
That's okay.
better. Let me just clarify. All I'm saying is that I think that
Mm,
the reason why that guy was onside, it's not even I think you can go and watch the replay. The reason why that
mm,
guy was onside was because Benjamin was behind the rest of the defensive line. Ekong, um, Ekong, Bright, and Basi were more advanced. He was lagging behind. And then that guy was onside. And then he tried to recover and he didn't recover well enough. And then Ekong just messed the whole thing up. So I'm not
yeah.
blaming him.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just
That's
saying
fine.
that it was a
What
series of events
what
that
I
led
was
to the
trying
goal.
to achieve was
Okay, but
that
go on.
first of all, I didn't think Ekong needed to play the two matches. In my opinion, you needed a faster, more fit defender, especially in this game. So I feel that Eric Chell was was under pressure to play his captain. In this kind of game, he needed to play. As soon as he addressed it in the second half, you saw that area balls, the two central players were very strong, and defensively, we started getting our shape right with what was happening. However, he did not start to lose. I feel he should have just stuck his guns, start with his first team, create that pressure because that's where the energy is there. Late in the game, it's very, very difficult. So I think he made a few mistakes, I mean, tactically in terms of the team he put out tonight. But like I said in the last review, I did not see my heart was saying Nigeria, but my head was saying no. We can't win in Bloemfontein. They're going to put many drama right from the airport. The
Mm,
grass is going to be the worst thing they'll put. So I expected this African football. That's what they do. You put your enemy under so much kind of mayhem just to get a result. And as soon as we scored, the momentum shifted to Nigeria and the South Africans were under tension. But of course, I felt that in the second half, we should have maintained that pressure. In my opinion, I wouldn't have removed Desas.
mm,
I would have put Tolu and remove Moses Simon. It's time we now start telling ourselves the truth. Moses Simon was just not in the game. Push out Lookman to the left, leave Desas because Desas one touch ball. He was always getting his one touch ball, but he needed somebody that will enforce it in the front and the final third. And I really don't know why he now left. I felt Chukwueze was left too late to come into the game because when he came into the game, that left side channel became problematic. He became problem because he starts moving. We needed to move them left, right, and create the openings. But look, it's what it is. I don't think we should be the whole box stops with the NFF. NFF bungled this whole World Cup qualifiers. They needed to make a quick decision. Are you following Pesero or you're not going with Pesero? Make a decision on the coach. they dig out, or Pesero was not even interested. At the end of the day, you get to Finidi, he doesn't know that he's the coach or he's not the coach. A lot of infighting, no structure, and because we underrated the group, we felt that the Lesotho, Rwanda will take them out. The only problem will be South Africa. We underrated this group. So it's okay. Nigerians can bring out all the kinds of calculator they like. This is what happened the last time when we did not go to the World Cup before the Ghanaian one. There was a World Cup, I think 2000 and one of the years we didn't go to the World Cup where we drew
2006.
2006. We kept bringing calculator. It will happen like this too. South Africa will win their 2 games at home comfortably. This was the game they wanted to just survive, and they have got a good result. So what we need to do now is play our game, try and win it. I don't even think we will beat Benin. I don't think we can beat Benin because we are not a high-scoring side.
I'm gonna draw.
I'm telling you the fact. The problem is that sometimes Nigerians watch football and put too much emotion. Just look at our team. We don't create chances. And look at all our goals. They have been lucky goals. We don't create chances. So it's not a high-scoring team. All right?
No,
but it's a team that will create damage in the Nations Cup. If they stay together, allow Eric Chell to continue with the team through the Nations Cup. I don't think we should change him. He has an idea, and I think he's finding out his team gradually. And he's beginning to see, okay, there are some people I need to start putting in this team. So I feel it's a work in progress. So let's allow him, whether he wins the World Cup qualifier or not, let him go to the Nations Cup. I think he will do very well in the Nations Cup and will have a very cracked team. A very cracked team will go to that Nations Cup. So I don't think we'll go to the World Cup personally. I don't think we'll even finish second. This will shock you. I don't think we'll finish second. Benin report.
If Benin win their next game, they will overtake us now. They are playing Lesotho.
If Benin wins tomorrow or
they are
today,
playing today.
Yeah, if they win today, they are overtaking us. So we are not going to. That second you are talking is too far. We are not going there. Let's just calm down. Genetro may overtake South Africa. I trust Genetro. He's going to play a game, and we will not win Benin. Trust me. It's going to be a draw. So I feel the World Cup qualifier is over for the Eagles, but they should just play, get themselves ready for the Nations Cup. And the Nigerians should just accept it because World Cup is now a birthright. And it's a clarion call to NFF. You cannot take Nigerian football for granted, all right? The Falcons that we're celebrating, those girls did not have it easy. They fought through, So, and the boys, this is the beginning of the season. Most of the Nigerian players don't want to get injured in the beginning of the season. They've just changed clubs, all right? Most of them. So at the end of the day, the boys will go back to their clubs and they move on, all right? So Nigerian football needs to really readdress itself. But oftentimes, we don't take advantage of this period to address certain things. We leave everything again because we like fire brigade approach. And that is what is going on with the football. It has always been like that. So maybe this time around, let the South Africans go. Although they won't do anything in the World Cup, they'll just go and disgrace themselves, which I know. All right. They don't have a class team. They don't have world class. But this is what they presented, and they were not even very good as I expected. But I mean, it's our own fault. They've taken advantage, and then they have to go.
Thank you very much, Sid. I have to stop you here because I want to bring other people on, but I appreciate you always joining me and giving me
well done. Yeah, well done, guys.
And there's something that that Sid said that I very much agree with, that we underrated our group. We did. I did, at least I will admit. I underrated our group. I saw the group. I said South Africa will be a threat, but I thought that we would beat Lesotho. I thought that we would beat Zimbabwe. Like, I just expected it because we have Osimhen, we have Lukman, we have Ndidi, we have Iwobi, we have Basi, Chukwueze, Simon. I underrated the group. I would hold my hand up and say I did. And unfortunately, even though I think our players should be beating these countries, they just were not up to the task. They just could not deliver. And that's why even today, when I was talking on TV about the game, I just said there's no precedent that showed me that we're going to win today's game. It was just hope. We're just really hoping and praying. And unfortunately, the hopes and our prayers. South Africa, they prayed too. So it was a 1-1 draw. And yeah, even that second place is going to be tough, because if we're behind Benin with 3 points going into the final match against them, I know that General will tell his players to die on the line. They also want to have a chance. And to be honest, I'm of the opinion that we don't deserve to go to the World Cup. As much as I want us to go to the World Cup, our performance in this group so far has shown that we don't deserve to go to the World Cup. The second place and the playoff route would just be bailing us out exceptionally. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. If this is what we're going to go and do against Spain, or against France, or against even England, let's just stay home and watch our games. I know a lot of us are in the diaspora. You pick one country you support, but yeah, it's very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. Okay, let me bring on my next guest. Well, once again, I want to appeal to you guys. Please, if you haven't liked the video, hit the like button. A lot of people are watching, but they haven't liked the video. So please, guys, do me that favor. Hit the like button. It costs absolutely nothing. And if you have a question that you want to ask, if you have something that you want us to talk about, a suggestion, an opinion, send it with a super chat. It does a lot for the channel, and it's a little way that you can support the work that we do. Real K says Finidi played Tanimo and Sadiq in crucial qualifying games. I hear you, but I mean, Finidi is in his house. Let's not blame him for a game that we did not win today. Let's try to keep it on today's game and what the players did or did not do, or the coach did or did not do. Okay, Munachi, thank you for joining me.
Uh, Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
can you hear me? Okay, okay. Um, it's sad to say, but I've lost hope. It's very sad, but I've lost hope. I don't think we'll be able to qualify, even if we go through the playoff route. It's grueling for the team. So I think I would agree with the last speaker, Mr. Wilson, that we should just prepare this team for AFCON. I think that's what it
Mr.
is. What
C.
it is. 'Cause yeah, Mr. Sid. Sorry, yeah, Mr. Sid. So I think we should just prepare this team for the AFCON that is, coming up in December. I underrated the group. Me too. I'll lift my hand and say I did, because I obviously thought South Africa was the threat. But that crucial game against Zimbabwe, I would not even leave Lesotho, leave Zimbabwe away. I think that Zimbabwe that took place in Uyo, we should have just won it. I think that's where the whole thing just went down the drain for us. But if it's the fans football tribe guys, they will say hope day. They were even saying it on their stuff
Yeah.
today. But it's fine. I know Smith Lai yesterday was also talking about a lot of things. Then maybe I'll just go back to the video, listen to it, and see what he said about chances of Nigeria qualifying, even if we draw this match. But in all, I don't think I'm optimistic. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This is the first time Namunachi will come and talk and finish in 1 minute. the game paid up today. But yes, thank you very much, Munachi. Honestly, I can't lie. I don't like I know that I'm supposed to be to some people a victim of optimism. I'll allow Smidlai to do that one. Right now, I'm just praying to God. I don't believe, if this was the Super Falcons, honestly, I would even believe. But the Super Eagles, with everything that they've shown me, I don't believe, man. Sam, do you believe?
I don't believe we are not going nowhere. We are not going anywhere. I said it yesterday that this was going to end in a 1-0 draw. We lost it from the very start. That's the truth. I'm not even going to blame Finidi. It started off with Passerio. You had 2 games, and in those 2 games, you drew. You are drawing to Lesotho. You are drawing to Zimbabwe. And I'll stand to say that the group is highly underrated. A Senegal in this group will qualify. Did you see the fight Senegal put up against Congo today? 2 goals down. They came back. They won. They topped their group. That is what fighters do. A Senegal will trash a Zimbabwe. A Senegal will trash a Lesotho. The group is a whitewash. It was only South Africa that was our real threat there. And maybe the Benin Republic. We had everything in our hands. But we lost it from the start. We can't be drawing to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. So we couldn't pick 3 points from home and away. We drew the first leg 2-2 or 1-1, and the second leg, you withdrew. Bro, we don't deserve it now. Let's not see. The Super Eagles of now is not the Super Eagles we knew before. We've lost it. Absolutely. We don't deserve to be. They pay me. Like, I feel so bad I wouldn't be able to watch Super Eagles here in America. I feel so bad. But again, let's give it to the guys that have done the work. One thing I'll point out is African football needs to be looked into. That pitch today, I didn't even know how CAF approved it. That pitch is actually meant for rugby. Like, being all fair and all, why would you let them choose the stadium? Why? Okay, now we lost the game, and then 2 of our players now are injured, going back to their clubs. How would you think this club would feel letting them go for AFCON? We should do better in African football. The high stand. This wasn't the pitch South Africa has been using to play their home games. So why did they bring it to this? All antics.
No, to be fair, I'm just going to defend South Africa a little bit. Even Hugo Broos, the coach of South Africa, was complaining, but apparently the main pitch, the pitch is even in a worse state than this. So Hugo Broos was saying that he couldn't understand why the main pitch was so bad. Then they told them that they have to use this one. That's why this one was a smaller pitch, it's not the regular one. So just to defend them, maybe the South African FA people, I don't know, maybe that's what they had in mind. But the coach and his team did not want this.
Out of the other pitches, let's assume the main pitch is bad. The whole South Africa, out of the other pitches, this is the best.
They could have been, at this point, they could have taken it to all high schools over SF.
Come on now. Out of all the other pitches they have, come on, it's all games. We know what they are working at. And it has worked for them. All the best to them. Pasero started the mishap. Finidi took a job that was bigger than him. Kudos to Eric Chell, but he still made some mistakes. In this kind of game, you should have started Tolu. There's no need coming up with, super sub. Tolu was, to me, is a better striker than Cyril Dessert. Cyril Dessert was a passenger today. He gave us the same vibe last time. Maybe he's good with European games, but coming down to Africa, it's a different ball game. You need the strength, you need the manpower. Tolu came in the second half and almost scored again, like we were this close again. Cyril Dessert was a passenger. And I don't know his thing with Moses Simon too. That was another passenger on the field. I don't know if it's because Moses speaks French to him. I don't understand. Moses was out of the... since the game of Zimbabwe, Moses Simon has never really done anything meaningful in our lineup. So why you still keep putting him? Chukwueze came. If we had somebody like Chukwueze start the game, there would have been more pressure on that flank. Yes, he didn't do so much because of the limited time he had, but he would have done a better job than Moses Simon. We are back to square one. The only way Super Eagles can make our nation happy again is to go to the AFCON in Morocco and at least come second place. This is the way to
come. I even thought you were going to say win. You say come second.
We can't win it now. We can't win
second place. They do for
me.
We
can't win it. I'm not. We can't win it. At the most, maybe second or third. We can't win it. We are still. Eric Chell doesn't have a formation yet. He doesn't. He doesn't have a team. Experimenting. I wish them all the best. We would not be able to see our Super Eagles in the World Cup for a second. Thank you, IoT.
All right. Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you. Whew. All hope is lost. Most people. All hope is lost for most people. I'm waiting for who's going to come on here and be optimistic, though, and tell me that we're still going to qualify. Maybe I need somebody to put that hope back in me. Tochi, are you the one that's going to give me hope again?
Oh, Vuku, brother. Let's just accept the truth, right?
Very good.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but they say pray for the best, but prepare for the worst. This is the worst, and from the look of things, this is what we might get. Right? This is what we are seeing now is what we might get. And I don't really blame the coach, right? He might be a little bit sluggish in terms of really reacting to his reality, because probably he's not been in this I don't really know his history, his managerial history, but I don't think he's been in this position where he needs to deliver results ASAP. Like maybe if he had managed Chelsea, I would say okay, he can deal with this pressure because Nigeria is basically like Chelsea's. Like Nigeria, Super Eagles fans are basically like Chelsea fans, right? They want instant result, and but for me, he has done so well from a progressive point of view. Like it takes time to build a national team, right? It takes time to find your balance and all that. And of course, he's making some discoveries and he's actually getting his own people in and stuff like that. So, and of course, you know that we are in Nigeria, a lot of overhead politics is going on. Let's not even deny that, right? So he's doing his best, he's doing what he can. But what I have to say is that this is one of the things that this is the Nigerian factor. Nigeria has happened to us again, right? You are starting out a campaign. You don't even have a plan. After the AFCON, if like the guy that came on before Sam said, or I think it was the previous guy, if you wanted, you should have. Do we not have project managers?
Haba, project manager.
I don't know now. Like, okay,
I
let's see.
know. I'm saying, come on now. This is the NFF we're talking about.
This is where the problem starts from. Because we can say, okay, let us hold someone accountable for this qualifying series. Let's hold someone accountable for the AFCON. Have someone that have like a manager that we don't know.
See,
within they should start doing this
because the reality of it is that the people that are responsible for these things are the ones that do the hiring and firing. Somebody like Osine Guavon, he has that job, is like his father's house, director, technical director. If things go bad, the technical director should be held accountable.
Yes.
Does he get held accountable? No. They will call him to come and coach the team. Whether he wins or loses, he knows that he will go back and be the technical director. They will hire a new coach. If things don't go well, they sack the coach. They bring in another new coach. The NFF administrators, they stay the same. The only position that changes often
Manager.
in the NFF, the only position that changes is president. And the reason why that one changes is because it's limited to terms. After every 4 years, you have to re-elect somebody, and there's only 2 terms that they can do. But as far as all the board members, it's the same board members over and over again. The general secretary has been the same general secretary for how many years? Since they made Eguavon technical director, there has been no chance of him going out of that position. So I agree with you. The administrators have a huge part to play. But sorry, go on.
In short, let me not even start being passionate about this whole political fiasco that is going on. See, we need to start. I know me, Seth, I had that problem like growing up, and I had to fix it before I even came out here, right? Everything is not die by fire. Last minute, everybody will start going to their church. Prophets will start prophesying. No, you have to plan things. Like there's one thing you said that got me rolling on the floor here. We are praying. South Africa is praying too. They might even be, those ones are even 7 days Adventists. Did they even come out shoe, go pray? Did they climb mountain, go pray? So I'm not even sure we pray more than them. But we have to. We are a country that, in short, I believe that the Super Eagles, in short, the Super Eagles and the Super Falcon is like a franchise on its own. It has that power. It has the population, the fan base. In short, it has everything. I know the amount of money Super Eagles is pulling in from Nike and all. Like in short, this is basically a club. It should be one of the most organized football teams in Africa if we take it serious. If we remove politics and nepotism and all those things. But like we said, is like we're always saying, it trickles down from the top, right? And it is now a habit. Like we come here, we do things, and we wait for the last minute. I just want to commend the coach, and I pray that they allow the coach stay for a while, because for now, I think the main thing we should do is allow this coach stay. Then, I don't know how we need to do it, though. Whether we need to do it like obedient movement, I don't know what it is, but see, we need to fix this administrative issue. Needs to be fixed because you are looking at. Someone said here that this is not the Super Eagles of before. Now I come to ask and say, which one be before? We only had moments of brilliance, like 94 sets, Mikel Obi sets. That's it. we've never had like a long-term structure or a long-term plan. Like I said, we don't even plan. We just go there, play, sack who they need to sack. It's crazy. We need to start. So I think everybody needs to start putting mouth in this whole NFF matter. They need to restructure for crying out loud, because it's painful. The same thing with Nigerian governance, but this one is something I know that is a small branch of the governance. We can actually do it. At least maybe they do their corruption, they go. If na small football, if na World Cup we go carry forth. What's all this noise? Every time Nike will suffer and design find the see for us. Nothing.
Well, I have to let you go so that I can bring other people
So,
on.
I mean, I just hope we just focus on the AFCON that is coming and allow the coach settle. That's all I need to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, that was touchy. I have a comment here from a member of the channel, Victor Cobham. I saw your comments. He said, "Can anyone remember the last time Simon played above average in the green and white shirt?" That's a good question. I think he had a decent game against Jamaica in the Unity Cup. That was a friendly match. Before that, I think, was it Rwanda in the AFCON qualifiers or Benin? One of the, I don't remember who it was, but I think he had a decent game there. But it's too few and far in between. I will agree with you on that. Real case says 2 wins in 8 games, and we want to go to the World Cup. And just to hop on that, first match 1-1 against South Africa. Second match we lost 2-1 against Benin Republic. Third match we beat Rwanda 2-0. Fourth match we drew 1-1 against Zimbabwe. Fifth match we beat Rwanda 1-0. Sixth match we drew 1-1 against South Africa. Definitely not good enough. The reason why South Africa are going to qualify top of this group is because they beat the teams that they were supposed to beat, and they held Nigeria to 2 draws, or they drew against Nigeria twice, considering we're the ones that held them today. But they beat the teams that they were supposed to beat, and we didn't beat the teams that we were supposed to beat, and that's what's costing us. The draw against Zimbabwe, very, very big one, and then the defeat against Benin Republic. 2 wins, 3 draws, 1 L. Terrible record. We have to admit. I can see some of my South African friends are here laughing at us, and I can't even be mad at you, man. I can't even be mad at you. You deserve to laugh. You deserve to troll us. You deserve to banter us. You know, it's football. It's the beauty of the game. You guys got the result that favors you today. South Africans that before they were saying, why would FIFA deduct our points? Now they are saying, FIFA should even take the points. We don't need it. You know, because they know that now everything is in their favor. So I can't be mad at it, man. The game is the game. You guys got the results you wanted today. You know, you deserve to gloat. You deserve to laugh. I'm not mad at it at all. Somebody in the comment section, digital currency, you're trying so hard to get my attention. Why don't you call in and talk to me face to face? Let me hear what you have to say. Stop making those kind of comments in the chat. It does nothing. You're trying too hard. Alex, stop. Welcome, sir.
Hey, okay. I did walk. I just step out. But yeah, I was one thing I wanted to mention was before the game, right? I was listening to a South African show on YouTube, and they were just saying that Nigeria have all the stars, but they don't have teamwork. That South Africa don't have the stars, but they have team bonding. And you can tell from the beginning, from the game, South Africa attacked Nigeria. Like, I mean, I know you said the field is not good. I saw it. It was bad, but I mean, these are professional players, whatever how bad it is. Remember our last game when I came on, I said Moses Simon is only one directional player. He always goes to the left all the time. He can't cut in. And every little small space, Moses Simon wants to still go to the left. Can you just change your mind and go to the right? No. Like you said, Dele Bashiru say, if you see how you play, say you go better person. Only the cross he made was the only thing I saw. I mean, make changes. Change Dele Bashiru. It wasn't in the game. Bring Chukwueze. I'm not Chukwueze. Sometimes, like you said, decision making. I saw a ball that he already cut to the left. His favorite leg. pull out the ball. He cut back to the right again.
Oh.
I mean, common little thing as a professional player that you can just make decisions. Chukwueze was doing it. I mean, he didn't have enough time. I thought you should have came in earlier. Dessa, there was no ball coming to him. He really can't do nothing. And again, your boy, I don't say like Tulu. The guy, they always head ball, go back, man. Dude, his heading is always like, I don't understand. Can you just drop the ball for somebody? But I give it to him. He tried. He was pressing. He was doing his work. Like that last ball he had. I mean, this is why some teams are better. Sometimes, yeah, you want to be the hero to score the goal, but just pass the ball. He had that chance to pass the ball. Ademola was coming in. I think it will be somebody else was coming in. He didn't pass it. He was trying to want to be the hero. I don't know, but Frederick, yeah, first half he was kind of like making a little bit mistake, but I think for me he was the best player. Second half he was at least defending everything, trying to cover up. I don't like to talk bad against players. Ekong, it wasn't his best game. Of course, he's the captain. We can't say bad. He has done great for the national
the positive
team.
part about Ekong's performance? It also wasn't his worst game.
He doesn't what?
It also wasn't his worst game. You said it wasn't his best game, but I say it also wasn't his worst game.
True. Yeah, I've seen Ekong. I've seen Ekong worst game. Like that ball. Ekong is a professional player. Why are you using your right? Why didn't you just use your left? I mean, use your left. I mean, but I don't know, man. I don't get hope. But like me, I'm a person that I always believe that till the last game, even if we're not gonna top the group, maybe we might be second and play the playoff. But I don't think Moses is not working. Like I said, Ademola Lookman likes space. You keep putting him in the middle, it's not the right place to play Ademola Lookman. He needs space. He needs to come from the left and cut in. He knows how to do that. And then you take Dele Bashiru from the right. It wasn't working. And you move into the left. Out to the right. Take him from the right to the left. It didn't work. So, but in all, I think, I don't know if I can give them, it was a good game, for sure. But I think I will blame the coach, all the coaching crew, because people keep saying he doesn't know the players, but there are Nigerian coaches on the bench, local coaches that are on the bench. They know those players. They can talk to, why are you assistant coach? Talk to the coach. Say, look, I think this player should come in. He has the final say, but dude, I don't know, man. Nigeria sometimes. I did for work when we scored the goal. Kelvin scored the goal with hand. I was screaming. Everybody was like, Alex, what's going on? I just keep quiet. I forgot myself. I was shouting, but I was always tense. The referee again, terrible referee. The referee was terrible. There was a ball that Ademola Lookman not even fit shout. He just grabbed the ball like it was a terrible referee. The field was bad.
You know why I can't be mad at the reason why I cannot be mad at the referees is because they allowed us score with our hand. So that's the biggest.
I will agree on that. Yeah, when I see the handball back, I was watching on ESPN Deporte. When they play back, the commentator was like, "Oh, he was speaking Spanish." Like, "Oh, this is handball." Like, but there is no VAR, there's no VAR. This one will even make us look bad as Africans. Say we don't get this kind, this type of thing to check those type of things. This is a World Cup qualifier. We don't have VAR to check those things, but hey, I don't know, man. IoT, it's tough. It's tough. But I tell you what, though. Okay. I tell you what. Anytime this group, I think we're underrated the group. Anytime Nigeria is with a stronger teams, I don't know. We play better. Cameroon, we played one time. We played World Cup Cameroon qualifier. We had with Algeria, we already qualified even before the last game. But these smaller teams, they work. I believe we might still qualify because I remember one time Algeria played in their World Cup qualifier. They were terrible, and I think they went to the playoff. I think they qualified. I can't remember if it was Argentina or Brazil, one of them. But let's just hope, though. Let's just hope. Let's just hope.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex, man. Nice
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. There we have it. Okay. How many more people can we take today? I'm going to have to reduce the time for people because we have about 8 people still waiting and only so much time that we have left this evening. Coach Duncan, thank you for your patience.
Yeah, IoT, how are you doing?
I've been better, but I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good to talk to you again. I will be quick on my analysis because we have more people on the line here. You know, the last time I spoke with you, I told you categorically that we are not going to the World Cup. Remember, I told you, I said, you asked me, are you going? Are you? So we are not going. I said, no, we are not going to go to the World Cup. I said it categorically because I know that the Kosafa collabo is going to work against us. Lesotho and Zimbabwe, they are going to sell their matches to South Africa because they know they are not going to go to the World Cup. I said it that time. You know one thing, I was watching a YouTube program this morning. There is a South African journalist called Baba Mwete. Baba Mwete was analyzing the match, this match we played, and they were asking him, it was South African analyst, all of them, 4 of them. And the man told them that, look, that the 3 points deduction, that when Lesotho wanted to protest, because FIFA gives you 24 hours to write your protest by handwritten protest. You have to send your handwritten protest in not more than 24 hours. So Nigeria did not do it, but Lesotho wanted to protest. South African down reminded them, they said, no, take it easy with us, don't do it. I'm looking for how I'm going to send that clip to you. The guy said no, that we talked to them and they now soft pedal and said, okay, we're not going to write the protest. So that the 24-hour, time frame is going to elapse. Yeah. So that is what they did. They wanted to protest just after the match so that they can beat that 24-hour time frame. But South Africa begged them and said, no, let the time pass, let it pass. That is what they did. That is the collab I'm talking about. And the South African reminded them that you are playing your games in our home. We are the one hosting you, we are the one catering for you, we are the one paying your hotels and all of that. The guy said it on the interview. And I've saved it to send it to you so that you see. Because South Africa and Zimbabwe, they are working for South Africa, and Lesotho and Zimbabwe are working for South Africa. That is how we cannot go for the World Cup. And it was wrong because South Africa...
Coach, I will say this. I understand what you're saying. However, if we win our games, we wouldn't even have to think about these things.
Yes, we are not going to win our games because we did not strategize from the beginning. I told you last time that I don't have anything about Uyo. I come from that area. But we shouldn't play our games in Uyo. The Uyo atmosphere is too friendly.
That's the only stadium we have in the country.
No. That's not the only stadium. That's not what's wrong with that stadium.
It's the only one that is approved. The other stadiums are below par because of management.
No, but Son Dogundare, what about Abuja? Abuja is also approved. We played Ghana in Abuja.
It's not approved. That was in 2022. This is 2025. The stadium is not approved
but
right
that is what I'm saying. The NFA should have hurriedly. We have Julius Berger. We have all these companies. They should have hurriedly prepared the stadium for it because we don't strategize. That's what I'm saying. It's because we don't strategize. South Africans. That Bloemfontein stadium is meant for rugby. That is why the ground is like that. So they know that they knew months before today that they were going to take Nigeria there. That is how professionals work in FAs in Africa. They strategize and said, okay, Nigeria, they're going to be our toughest opponent. Let's take them to Bloemfontein. They have world-class stadiums all over South Africa. I've been to South Africa. They have world-class stadiums, but they took us to the worst. Because they strategize. That is what I'm saying, because we have people who don't think in our FA. That is, by the way. Now, in terms of Ekong's own goal, I can't blame him. All top defenders in this world, Baresi, Maldini, they've all scored own goals. It just happened. It's football. It is football. I don't want to blame our captain because he considered an own goal. If it was Benjamin Fredis that considered that own goal, we will still blame the coach. Oh, why did he put this inexperienced boy? He should have put in Ekong. And that's how football is. That is how football is. So Ekong scored an own goal, yes, but it was not left for us to respond. We responded, but it didn't work. Another thing is the handball. It wasn't an handball. When the ball comes from any part of your body and touches your hand, and it was from his head to his hand.
But he's the one that headed. He's the one that headed it against his hand. And
Yes, it's totally intentional. That's it's only totally intentional. He didn't head his body.
No,
now it is the law of the game now.
Coach, the new law, as long as he hits a hand and it leads to a goal, whether intentional or not, the goal is disallowed. That's the law.
No,
now.
it's not. It is not. It is not. It happened in the Premiership against Arsenal. They hit the ball hit somebody's chest and touched the hand, and then they was like the penalty. They said no, it's not a penalty because
I'm talking about goal. If he hits an attacker's hand and enters the goal, it doesn't matter if it was intentional or not. The goal is disallowed.
Okay. I don't want to. Okay, let's not argue about that. Maybe the referees didn't see it because there's no VAR. So because there's no the referees were bad because if they had seen it, they would have pointed to a free kick, but they didn't see it. So that is gone. Then one other thing is I've talked about Baba and Wete. Then the wingers, I told you that Moses Simon is not a national team player. I said it in my last he's not good enough. I don't care whether he plays in Europe or he plays in Heavens United.
He used to be good enough.
But it's no more good now. We should select players on current form, not what he used to do. And we don't care. The South African boys who play in their local league, the two wingers who played are 10 times better than Moses Simon. I don't care where you play. He's not good enough. His end product is zero. What he does is, in one match, we do one fantastic thing. In one match. The next 12 matches, zero, nothing, no end product. So that is our undoing. We don't have wingers. And that our strength, our DNA is playing from the wings. We don't have wingers. Chubeze, zero. Moses Simon, zero. Then the fullbacks, I don't know, because I find something wrong with I know it's not too comfortable playing African football. You saw what happened to him. What Agrinda did to him at the Nations Cup finals. You saw what Agrinda did to him, Nations Cup against Cote d'Ivoire. It's like he's not very comfortable playing Africa. He's a good defender. He's a world-class defender, I know. But African opposition is not good with him. So Bruno came in, was making faulty passes. So the team has a lot of problems. No leaders in the team. The team is just, what's his name? Ndidi. Not good enough. I've always said it that I prefer Onyedika to Ndidi. He's younger, he's stronger, he's more mobile. Ndidi plays, it's just like Simon Moses. He does one good thing in one match, the next 4 matches, zero.
Coach, I have to let you go, but I slightly disagree with you on Ndidi. I think today the setup did not favor Ndidi. I think he was isolated in that midfield. And even if
the altitude to affected our boys, so Nigerians should know that the altitude is not easy to play at that level. The altitude affected our boys. People are just saying they tried. Our boys tried, to be honest. The altitude is that if you play in South Africa, if you come from West Africa and go to South Africa and play, you know that you're on the mountain, playing on the mountain. It's not easy. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I can hear and I see the passion in Coach Duncan. You know, I appreciate you joining. Shout out to my guy from Nigeria Football Weekly. He says, keep up the amazing work and we go again at AFCON. That sounds like even Nigeria Football Weekly has given up on this tournament and is just looking forward to the AFCON. You know, we have 2 games coming up in October. Lest we forget, we have 2 games coming up in October. I know that those games right now seem like games that we shouldn't bother ourselves with paying too much attention to, but we have to wait and see. Lots of South Africans in the comments. I would love to get at least one South African. Let's hear your thoughts. Even if you want to come and laugh at us, fine. Like I want to hear from the opposition perspective. So any of my South African friends, you know, say, Godi, you're always on my shows. Call in now. Let's hear what you have. Hear what you have to say. You know, I can see a bunch of you guys. Madikani, you were here yesterday as well talking to us. Madikani, come on. Let's hear what you have to say. You know, I want to hear from South African perspective. But in the meanwhile, welcome, Adeotu.
Yes, thank you very much, Yoti. You know, it took me, I had to take my time before I could join because I was joining anything. You know, I got back from work this morning. I have not even slept. I did not eat because it's March. But it is what it is. You know, we knew it would be very difficult for us to qualify since we drew and lost some matches. Now let me correct Coach Duncan. Please, sir. Maldini never scored own goal in his career. In his
So
entire career,
let's not
he never
focus on
scored own
something
goal.
like that.
So
That's
I know I'm just saying that. So let me not say this. I would say kudos to the players. The boys they did well. They played their ass out. It showed that they also wanted the match, but it's what it is. You know, I think outside terrain, bad pitch. Shame on FIFA for approving that stadium. Shame on FIFA. But I can see the hand of Esau in what happened. And who is that Esau? Mosepe, CAF president. Let me put it out here. I've been saying it, IoT, if you can remember, that since Ekong moved to Saudi Arabia, that his name has dropped. And I've been calling him a suspect. Hence, I didn't want his pairing with Benjamin Frederick, a rookie. Let me make something clear to people. IoT and 9, we didn't say that Benjamin Frederick is not a talent. What we argued against Jamaica was that it is wrong for us to invite an academy player to the pinnacle of our football, Super Eagles. When he played under 20, I singled out that boy that this guy is destined for greatness. A lot things to be done the right way. If it was Osuji, maybe I would have complained. Now that they invited him, I didn't complain because now he's playing first team football. Did he do well today? I think first half it was a bit, but second half he got composed. And I love the pairing with Kevin Bassi. Osai Samuel played his best football for Nigeria today. Since I've known Osai Samuel in the national team, today he played his best football, his best game for Nigeria today. Even though when he first came in, it was a bit, but he grew into the game and was marking close to three of them. I've been saying it. I'm sorry, I've never rated Bruno Imichi because I don't watch when people play gallery. I watch ball. I've been following football for over 40 years. And I have never rated Oyemichi. He's pulled out 0. I think he's still young. He can still work on himself. But Moses Simon, please, I've been saying it. Simon is a one-way player. When you mark him, he won't be able to do anything. And when he even gets where the ball, his final ball is always awful. And I'm a fan of Kisatos Uche. But today, it didn't impress me. People have been talking about Dele Bashiru. Dele Bashiru was also played as a position. He was played as a position. What they said to do, he was played as a position. And I give it to Undidi. But later, I expected that to happen. Due to his age, I expected that to happen. At point in time, Undidi gas out because he overworked himself. But I give it to Iwobi. Iwobi was everywhere. Even at point in time, he got tired. But Iwobi was everywhere. You know, but by and large, I want the team to I want the technical crew to continue with the team. But I'm blaming me. Though we still have little hope, I think 10% hope. But if we don't provide for World Cup, I'll blame it on Finidi and Eguavon. When we had crucial World Cup matches, they invited players that they wanted to market. I can say boldly. When they invited Manchester Minimum, they said home base. They call it home base player that were paying for better insurance. And I came on this live then I said, Saminu is not an home base player. That this guy had played 3 matches for EFU in Tanzania. He had played 3 matches for EFU in Tanzania. And they came and they lied to the over 220 million people that If Taiminu was home-based player, was playing in better insurance. If the same society, Egwavon and those that invited Taiminu, and those that gave us that wrong information should be jailed. They need to go to court. I blame them. Shell, out of we have 11 points. Shell got 8 points out of the 11 points. First man for him. But we might not be able to qualify for the World Cup. But the only thing Super Eagles can do to pacify Nigerians is to win AFCON. Nothing short of that is to win AFCON. Shell too should please play the players in their rightful positions. And some players, they need to shop bench. They need to be dropped. Remember, I point in time, Chukwueze was dropped. I think one on himself and by the team. Some players like Simon and this guy should be dropped. Simon should be dropped.
Mr. Didotun, 10 seconds, please.
Yes. So this guy should be dropped. Maybe he can go and watch themselves and come back. No wonder Simon has never played for any big team. So, oh no, the only way this book can pacify Nigerians is just to win the AFCON. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, that was Adidotun. I want to quickly just say something. So I see somebody in the comments said Ekong has cost us one too many. Somebody said Ekong has single-handedly kicked us out of the World Cup. And I disagree with that sentiment. Did Ekong make a mistake today? Yes, he did. Did he single-handedly kick us out of the World Cup? No, he did not. Our missed chances, our players underperforming, other people making errors in different games. Ekong did not single-handedly kick us out. He made a crucial error today, yes. But again, you cannot put all the blame on one person in a monumental failure. You know, Ekong is not the reason why we've only won 2 out of our 8 games. You know, people have made many errors along the line. You know, and while I'm not trying to excuse Ekong from the error that he made today, if I, you know, because I like to look at the series of things that lead up to an action or something at the end of the day. If I look at it, the coach, for me, made the initial error of playing Ekong as the left center back. For me, the coach made that initial error of playing Ekong as left center back. Probably he felt like South Africa were strong on the right, and he wanted Basi to be there as left back to play a bit more solid in defense. But he already made that error. The reality of it is that if Ekong was playing right center back and that ball came in from the left, he's less likely to concede an own goal than him running and then the ball coming from the right side. And naturally, him not just thinking of using his left foot to clear it, even though he should have. And then he tried to use his right to stop it, and then he hits it in the back of the net. Big mistake, big error, but let's not throw our whole World Cup qualification and everything bad that we've been doing to one player. You know, this is how we try to scapegoat certain players. And the game against Zimbabwe, Ekong did not cause the draw. Indeed, he did not chase. Osai Samuel left his man run. Ekong did not follow his man. 3 people made errors. Even Bali could and should have done better for that goal. So let's not scapegoat any one player. We do this too much in Nigeria. We lose a match, we get up out of a competition, and we just try to all of a sudden pick on one player and start bashing the player. No, Ekong made a mistake today, but he's not the reason why we're not going to the World Cup. I strongly disagree with that. But yes, Lekon, welcome.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunate we're out of these World Cup qualifiers. I think we're missing 3 things. We have a micro problem, which is like our players, they're missing the fundamentals. The crossing has been poor this whole tournament, this whole qualifier. Even in the last minute, we had Chris Santos Uche. He was supposed to shoot on target, shot to the corner flag. These are the micro things. It's outside of the coach's reach. I've always said that we are so poor that, you know, even if they don't score against us, we'll score for the other team. If you look at Ekong's antecedent, he has a mistake in him, and not in a crucial game like this. You know, not in a crucial game like this. The last one is the leadership of NFF. You know, they've been consistently bad. They're just bad. You know, I always say this: if you're a technical director, you should be able to guide the coach. And I don't see Guamon giving the coach any real leadership in a way that he can win games. So if your coach is struggling, I don't see Guamon coming down and saying, this is the way you need to organize your team. And I think Iguaban has a lot more experience than Eric Chell. You should give him a little bit more guidance. Eric Chell has done really good for Super Eagles. There are some brief stints where the players are playing really well. The coach just needs to put the right players in the right place. This team has a lot to build on, and I think players like Moses Simon, Ekong, they really need to start taking the back seat in Super Eagles. Just quietly retire, so much more competent players can play. That's really what I got to say.
All right, thank you very much, Lekon. I appreciate
No problem.
it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See, okay, you know what? Let me not even go into it. People will start telling me I'm talking, I'm criticizing somebody again. Let me just leave it. Okay, Dabola, welcome.
Yeah, IoT. Today's match. So I'll start by saying that initially when I saw the starting 11 today, I was not happy about it because I felt the coach should have played new players in this game today. But then as the game began to progress, I now discovered the reason why he used the same set of players from the first game. I think he saw that the pitch was very bad. Now, when you are playing on a bad pitch, it's better for you to use the same set of players because they are already cohesive in how they play, right? They know themselves, they know how to pass to themselves. But if you start with new set of players like maybe Uche or Chikwueze, they could struggle. So maybe that is the reason why he used the same set of players, because I was expecting him to start like Onyedika, Uche, in the midfield, But then again, I think Eric Chell has done a good job. And I think for those who watch the game, because sometimes people criticize, the team is not good. But if you really watched the match for the 90 minutes, you will know that these boys tried their best. Even Bassi, even though, yes, the goal is controversial, he put his body online. That was a risk. He could have hurt himself, right? He could have slumped. Like these guys played their heart out today. Osayi, look at Osayi. This is the best game I've seen Osayi play. I'm trying to look at the positive of this game, Then Benjamin is our new sensation, and I believe that the future of our defense is bright, So even if Ekong retires, at least we have Benjamin. So that is a good part of it. Now, one thing I will say, to Nigerians is that, let's support this team going forward for the next two games against Lesotho and I think Benin. Even if it's 5% chance of us qualifying for the World Cup, it's still something. It's like a surgery. Sometimes the doctors will say, "Oh, this person has a 5% chance of recovering, right?" But then you still have to bank on that 5%. So we have to support this team to the last. That's all I can say. And one more thing is this, and I'll maybe talk about this later on. Maybe on your next show. It's high time we take the match, our home games, away from Uyo to maybe Lagos. Like we need to start planning ahead on how to renovate the Lagos Stadium, or the Abuja Stadium. The Uyo fans, I noticed, they are not really passionate. They just, maybe it's our culture in Nigeria. Like we sit down on the pitch. It's like people just sit down with their drinks, they're chilling, talking to their girlfriends.
I'm not going to, sorry to cut you off, I'm not going to put this on Uyo fans. I'm going to put this on Nigerian fans. Nigerian fans don't care about our national teams the way we say we do. And maybe I don't know, maybe some of the most passionate people are the ones that live abroad. But people would travel if Nigeria gets to the WAFCON final, to the AFCON. People would travel from Lagos, from Abuja, all the way to Morocco to go and watch so that they can enjoy the final atmosphere. But they wouldn't travel, and I know that a large part of the country probably cannot afford to travel interstate just to go and watch football. But those that can, don't. They don't care to support. And the ones that make it to the stadium, the ones that live in Uyo and its environs, and they make it to the stadium, we cannot now criticize them for not being loud enough or not being there enough. They're the ones that made it there. Most people would not even.
At least they tried. Yeah, you're right.
Will not get
at
out
least,
to go.
Yes. So I won't take your time. So yes, you're right. So I think our culture in the stadium needs to change. We need to be passionate. We need to clap, dance in the stadium. One thing I would give to the South Africans, because I lived in SA for many years, one thing I give to them is that if you notice one thing about the South African fans, they're always singing and dancing in the stadium. Like from the beginning, they're dancing, they're singing, they're clapping. I know it's part of their culture, right? But with us, it's like we just like, So I think we need to think of that aspect because our home games have been has been bad so far in these qualifiers, So if we can just fix that aspect of our home games, maybe for the just maybe the last game against Benin, maybe they can try out a new venue and see. But yeah, so yes, I mean that's all I have to say for today.
All right, thank you very much, Damola. I appreciate you joining and sharing your thoughts. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have to take it very quickly because we still have about 6-7 people that are waiting to speak. Real Case says Calvin Bass was man of the match, beast of the player. Well, I wouldn't call him a man of the match, but I think he was the eagle of the match. For me, I gave him my highest match rating. Second was Benjamin Frederick, and then a bunch of players got 6.5s from my match rating. So I agree. I think Bassi showed his quality in defense and obviously scored the goal for us. So we have to give him credit for that. He was one of the few players who looked like he was actually trying to make something happen, and he did make something happen. But yes, Sports Grinder, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, today's all gloomy. The boys tried. I would say they tried. They gave their all. They didn't start well, but with time, I think after the goal, it's like it became a very, very even contest, But at least I'll take the positives. We now can say we have a good pairing. Before we always believed we had to play with the three at the back to make do with the defenders' shortcomings. But when you see the way Bassi and Benjamin they pair like they're three players, playing that center back. So I'm glad we can go back to our traditional four, and start having more bodies and making do with better talents in other parts of the stadium, of the pitch. But I just do hope that some players have kind of played their last game for us, like Simon, Ndidi, Ekong. Like they really don't add it. Like to me personally.
What do you have against Ndidi?
No. See, my thing with a midfielder is like I don't judge. Okay, like if you look at the great midfielders, the good midfielders, like you don't judge Rodri because he's a DM, but you don't judge Rodri because he wins 700 balls, and cannot pass with it. We all judge Rodri. We all judge Busquets. We all judge these DMs because they can meaningfully do things with the ball. N'Golo Kante, for all he could win balls, he pushed up. He could get goals. He could pass and everything.
He only got that after Sarri came and forced him to.
But at least he still could make forward passes when he was in Leicester. He won balls and kicked it.
I mean, Kante was very much a tackler and interceptor until Mauricio Sarri. But go on.
Okay, no, but my thing is, our whole we say our play is lethargic and we don't. But it's down to the midfield. Trust me, if you bring players, young, hungry players, like the equivalent of a Benjamin,
like Uche that we saw today.
No. See, I've always agreed with you. When everybody says Uche is midfielder, this midfielder, that, I've always agreed with you that we haven't really seen him play midfield. So I think this can reduce the talk of midfield for Uche and just play him up front, wing, AM, CF, where his club plays in. I know that's where Crystal Palace is going to play him. Crystal Palace is not there. They didn't in their head. They didn't buy a 10 or like a CM or whatever. In their head, they bought an 8 or a 9. So, but I'll say we should take the positives. But my fear with this is, it's not how you fall that's the problem. It's how fast or are you willing to stand back up. NFF are going to repeat the same thing. I can give you a rundown of what's going to happen. They're going to leave Chell to prosecute the qualifiers. There's going to be is he going to take us to AFCON? Is he not going to take us to AFCON? We'll do that thing. Chell will take us to AFCON. We're not going to win it. They're going to give him an ultimatum for him to win it. We're not going to win it. NFF will come down and say, Chell, go. They're going to put, not Eguavon, because we don't have any qualifier, they're going to put one of the 94 Eagles to take over. And we're going to just be dragging, and dragging. Then they'll be like, okay, this is a bad this thing. They will promise they're going to have a white coach coming. Bro, 2028 will come, and that's when they will bring someone in the middle of a qualifier to take charge. And we'll bottle it in 2030. We'll start calculating if maybe Cameroon is our group, if they drop point. Like, see, NFL,
I like how you've seen this movie too many times. You already
this is I'm telling you, this was going to happen. Shell is going to take us to Africa. Forget about that one. But one of the 94 Eagles, or maybe another person that they want to call from home, NPFL, or maybe the Remo coach will take over or something. You know, I've seen it. NFF will never learn. I know that. And then they'll start begging state governors for stadium. Hey, can we use your stadium? Can we go to Poto Abuja? You know, like, man, forget about it. See, like, it's not what's paining me is not this result. It's what we're going to do in the future. If I see a blueprint, oh, yes, I'm happy with failures to rise up. You know, I'm fine with that. But if your blueprint is even as bad, you know, then there's really no point. You know, we're just going to be doing the whole mix and match and call it, and keep failing. So that's it from me. You know, let's just hope.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Sure, no worries. Take care, man. All right.
I like how he was able to just lay out, you know, the next 4 years of Nigerian football for us. And it's funny because a lot of the things that he was saying, I'm like, yeah, this probably was going to happen. I also think that Shell will go to the AFCON. I also think that Shell is not going to win the AFCON. Then they'll probably sack him after he doesn't win the AFCON and be mad at him. Then they'll just not appoint somebody when it's time for match. They'll just hire somebody, okay, come and be interim manager. The person will be there. They'll say, okay, let him start the next set of qualifiers. Let's see how he does. Then when he loses 2 matches in the qualifiers, okay, he's not good enough. We have to bring somebody else. You know, Nigeria, we don't learn, man. Everything is always rush to the solution. But what can we say? It's part of the beauty of our country. TC, welcome.
Hello.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah,
How are you?
nice getting to meet you.
Is this your first time?
Yeah. So I used to watch the program. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I mean, I honestly, you know, they say laugh so that you will not cry. So I'm doing my best to joke about it and just be positive, despite my, you know, disappointment and how everything has gone.
I get you. For me, I do this thing. So after each match or games, if I don't even watch them, I'll just go on comment section, watch people banter. I'll just be laughing. For me, for a long time, I might look young in the face, but I started following Nigerian football since, let me say, 1988. My first Nations Cup I watched as a toddler, 1988. I followed, you know. So I've watched Super Eagles. I've seen Super Eagles, you know, over the years. I've also followed. I'm aware, and then at the time I worked with. I did some few writing with what they call them, Complete Sports in close to Solo, where I went to school around that area in Lagos then. So if you see some of the things that we know about our FA, it's not new. It's like when people do say that, just laugh, you know. And I've worked in roles where I work as a strategic planner, you know, do a lot of planning, you know, with government people in Nigeria. And let me tell you, so, and there's a culture that we exhibit, and that's why when I talk to some friends, I tell them, you know what, with where I see Nigeria, the same problem we cry about, the next 50 years, we're going to have it. It's not prophecy. I'm just telling you, the next 50 years, we're still going to be complaining the things that we are complaining today in Nigeria. So, back to our football. I've always watched Nigeria game with my head, not with my heart. So why do I do that? Because I understand that it is a game, it's a football, and it is, if you don't have the right ingredients, you will not get, you know, what you want. So I knew there was a problem when we hired Bernard Raw. People can say, "Oh,
we're tracing it all the way back to Bernard Raw."
Yeah. So fundamentally change our philosophy, our psyche, and how we play football. Before Bernard Raw, we don't take losing at home wasn't something. You don't want to hear that. Maybe we can draw. The game I was instead the one we played 2-2 against Guinea. You remember that game? That the Choco qualifier that we needed to just you know, 2-1 when I qualified for that Nations Cup. Where I was behind the stadium, behind that bench. I was just at the back. I was watching the scoreline when they were screaming, "Oh, 2-1, you qualified!" No, I was shouting, "Come back! You guys have won. Defend!" When the game ended, if I'm with my phone, I would have shared the picture. I was in that stadium that day. So, and it was bad. Everybody felt bad. The players felt bad. So, but don't get it wrong. We started losing games at home, and everybody felt it was normal. So it started creeping into our psyche. We win some. It's okay. Thank God we're not losing. We're not calculating. I heard that statement. I said that's wrong. It's wrong. There's something about your mindset, about your home. It is how you play at home that reflects how you play outside. It's probably because of old. When you come at home, come to Nigeria, they will beat you, and they show you pepper. When they go outside, you're already afraid of them. So sometimes they can draw the game. They hardly just lose. But right now, you said that we draw a lot of most games, and we try to play catch up. However, let's not start blaming player or blaming player. You have said a lot of things. There's nothing I want to say here that everybody has not said. That your last guy that said those that described the events of things that are going to happen going forward. He's just so true. It's just true. The only way, if we must get our sport in general and football in particular, there must be a very, very deliberate effort or stance from the government to bring in a substantial amount of funds to invest in sport for the next 5 years. If we must change, let me put it this way, if we must go to the next World Cup, the federal government must invest a huge amount of money. See all these things they are doing, let's just do it, support the team. No, it's not going to work. If we continue like this, the next World Cup, we're not going to go. Why do I say so? You will notice that few things are not in place. People don't enjoy playing soccer. Footballers don't enjoy playing football. If you watch the league games, you will know they don't enjoy what they are doing. They just kicking. You can see no enterprise. We play football growing up, and those days. Okay, I listened to this interview between.
Please, 1 minute, please, so that I can bring other people.
Okay, yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, quickly. I listened to what's his name? This guy's name. Yakubu Ayugbeni, one interview, one South African, and he was talking about how I'm South African style. I said, I felt that I pick hole in some of those things. Nigeria has a way we play our football. We pass, but most importantly, we like enterprising. We can beat one person, you pass, beat two people. It's part of our game, and you can see that identity. So until we tell ourselves, okay, you know what, we're going to play the way we play, but put in few changes in the way our modern games are shaped and how our identity, and stick to it in our sub-level teams. Play it in our league. In the next 4 or 5 years, that's when we'll start getting the results. Change of attitude. But in the meantime, the NFF should, calm down. If they want to change, I don't know if they will change. After the next year, they should just leave. Whatever they can do to make sure the right people come in, let them come in, and we can build for the future. I hope they will keep the coach for the next 5 years. Then we might have an identity. But all the same, I want to say thank you. I want to say congratulations to South Africa. They worked for it. Nobody should envy them. They have suffered for long. They have been in the wilderness for a long time. So they worked for it. They planned, they cried, and today they are enjoying the fruit of their labor. So let's just celebrate them and see what the future holds.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm smiling because I've been seeing some comments. I'm kind of used to it now. Obviously, I've been talking about Nigerian football online for a number of years now. But people always just wait. If I say something, people take it in and then they wait. And if that thing goes wrong or if that thing does not happen, all of a sudden my comments are just full. I thought you said this. I thought you said that. Because in my preview yesterday, I said I will start Ekong. Ekong squad won't go today. Now I'm seeing my comments. People are attacking me. You said Ekong should start. But no be me kickball inside net. I said Ekong should start. Yes, he scored an own goal. Yes. What can I say? I was wrong, or maybe was I wrong? I think when I said he should start, I said he should start at right center back. But anyway, even if I was wrong, it did happen. I'm not God, man. Like as much as I know football and I analyze football, I can get things wrong, So I have no shame in saying I got that one wrong, But it's funny how people are trying to come for me. Buddy, welcome, sir. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, how are you, my brother?
I'm well. How are you?
Great to connect with you today. Anyway, it's an opportunity for me to speak to the national team as well as Nigerian government and probably the Sports Commission through your platform. And I pray they find my comments and they utilize it for the benefit of Nigeria. We love football. Nigerians love and they like football. For me, number one, some players needed not to play today. And yeah, you're talking about Trostekon. The guy, he has served Nigeria. He's a wonderful player. It's obvious that this guy is becoming tired. Football isn't easy. Today, you can see, I also went out to go and play after this match. I just wanted to be fit myself. By the time you play, you feel it. The guy's agility and, his body biology has declined significantly. The same thing as Simon. These two guys, they should celebrate them and encourage them to retire. Because the liability they constitute to the current national team is a huge loss. They shouldn't force themselves. It's just age factor. Everybody gets older, So those two players should be retired, please. Indeed, the two, you should look at his time as well. You should consider his timing, So that's number one on those players, because what it costs today is a huge, although we can't just blame him. He's done wonderful thing in the past. We can't just say because of this we should now sacrifice him. But it's very costly and painful, because those guys, they couldn't have scored our defense today. Our defenders were great today.
Great is an overstatement, but
yeah, they were excellent. But in addition, Bruno Nyimechi, he should really, really go and learn how to make successful passes, for God's sake. He can't just be throwing to the opponent. Basic skills of football is ability to pass successfully. You target where you want to pass, what the person you want to pass to, and pass to that close proximity such that he can receive the ball. Don't pass to the opponent. Don't throw away ball. Don't lose passes. Because of time, I want to be quick. Uche, he wasn't given a good time today for us to properly assess him. Christensen Uche, in my view, is still a great player. I see him as a forward midfielder to complement a striker. Today, his performance to me is still okay. If you want to assess a player, give him at least 45 minutes. Let's see some mistakes, but he was just given like 10, 20 minutes. Look at the South African players, they were just delaying, trying to waste time and all of that. No, okay, now we are going to AFCON. This current team can't go far in AFCON. Let's not deceive ourselves. I like what this Arise person, sports journalist asked the coach in the press conference. I watched him. He said, our problem is scoring goals. And look at what the response of the coach said. It was like, maybe we just wanted victory. You don't have a victory unless you score goals. If Nigeria score one goal today, yes, what came through Bassi was great, but then if there's a VAR, that will be nullified. It will be ruled out. Let's have 1-2 goals. That game will change. You will now see people forgetting all their training, and then you now see skills and talent coming out. Today, it was just time wasting defending. So this AFCON we are going, this coach, we need to look at recruitment. The recruitment strategy that brought out Benjamin Frederick should be announced. Whoever discovered that guy, we need to commend him. Alant is still hasn't got a good big club. He hasn't played many matches. He's still maybe from academy or what have you. Well, wherever he's coming from, this guy is a revelation. His performance is classic. We need a revelation like that in every department so that there'll be competition in the midfield and in the forward. There's no communication. Look at Simon. Everybody has said it. I'm not going to repeat them. Simon you don't know he can't run. You can't, so because of time, I just want to talk about the supporters club too. Somebody was talking about let's take our matches to Lagos or take it to a particular place. I think all we need is Nigerian supporters club who companies in Nigeria should support, and they should go to wherever Super Eagles is playing, whether in AFCON, whether in Lagos, whether in Kaduna, wherever. Supporters club need to ginger the spectators to support, the Nigerian players. They were just quiet today. People in the stadium, unless somebody lead them, to give the support, they might not support very well. So then the sports commission too, they should set up a task force. The task force, their commission is to find Nigerians' talents that are hidden across the world. Osimhen, we really miss him. But we need people to find stars. Nigerian stars are hidden somewhere. We need to, shed light on them and onboard them. Onboard them. Nigerians have got stars everywhere. Just look at what we watched today. There's no creativity. There's no communication between that midfield and going forward. Tolu, they all did their best. Energy. Maybe they were stressed. You understand? Like people have commented, some previous coaches, they really, make our chances very bleak. So we can't just be blaming all these players now. But be that as it may, going forward, the AFCON, this current preparation is not sufficient. This current set of players, they are not sufficient. We need to have replacements that will give a competition to some of these players. They need to understand that you need to really work hard. And we need to have preparations for injuries. Osimhen become injured, I not become injured.
It's 1 minute then, everybody.
All right, yes. So let me just stop here. So I believe and I hope, I don't have anything with this Eric Chile. I think he's okay. Some of the substitutions, he was playing many players off their primary position, which is not really great. Maybe you need to really think more before you invite players. Invite players that if they are playing in their natural position, which other players could communicate, could collaborate, could work with them before you invite them. Don't invite a midfielder, put him in the winger, invite a defender, put him in midfield, and all sort of confusion over the place. So thank you so much, Ayo.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Okay, we'll take the final 5 people and then we'll call it a night. I wish I could take more people. I know some other people are waiting, but we're well over 2 hours in this, and I don't want it to run for too long. It's already run for long, but I don't want it to run for that much longer. So, guys, please let's try to make our thoughts as concise as possible. That would be really appreciated, so that I don't have to cut you off. Because it doesn't feel nice to cut people off, But at the same time, if I run into long, I would have to. Welcome. Your name is?
My name is Isaac Sachs.
Okay, Isaac. Oh, okay. Welcome, Isaac.
Yeah. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Briefly, I just want to say that it's a sad day for Nigerian football. Honestly, I'm not happy, but there's nothing we can do. And to me, I will put the blame like 60-40. 40% to the NFF and 60 to the players. When I say 60 to the players, I think Nigeria should realize that we overrate our Super Eagles, but we are overrating them. NFL will not prepare the way we want. That's always been like that. We've seen a situation like the Battle of Omdurman. We didn't prepare to go to that battle. It was just because of the quality of players we have. Even if I remember the last time we went to Kenya and we won. So the quality we have today, I'm telling
you. Oh, Isaac, your network is working against you. Okay. Because of time, I have to take Isaac off while he tries to reconnect. Louis Victor, are you there?
And we need to have preparation for injuries. So they become injured, I know they come injured 1 minute.
Hello, Louis Victor.
Yes. So let me just stop here. So I believe.
Okay, Louis Victor is obviously not ready. Welcome, Donatus. Thank you for joining. You are muted. We can't hear you. Yes, go on.
Can you hear me now? Okay, first time caller. I'm very happy to be here.
Welcome. Thank you.
So, honestly, I don't know why we expect so much. Honestly, was very the um like I just found out now that that was a rugby stadium. So you are playing an away match in Africa in a rugby stadium that is even against the opponent. The coach said earlier today that they themselves were not happy with the stadium. So let me just be quick. I was very comfortable with their performance. I actually predicted they either lose that match or they draw, and they drew and still played good football. Just that the chances were not good enough. But the boys did well. The boys did well. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't expecting too much. So I don't see why most Nigeria fans are coming out to to talk about Ekong's performance, Moses Simon's performance, Ndidi's performance. These guys did well. They did well for me. Before this one, just he scored and assisted in their match, in their league match against at the League One. He played very well. Ndidi too. He did well. This Ekong we are all talking about that because he scored an own goal today. This was the African player of the year. So honestly, I don't want us to expect too much from them. NFF, we keep talking about NFF, it won't change. So that is just what I want to say. The guys they did well. So I don't know if they are watching, but honestly, they did very well. So thank you. That was what I
All
want
right,
to say.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so Donatus is saying that we should calm down. The players did well, and people should not pile on them as much as they are. Okay, Babatunde, welcome.
Hey, IoT.
Thank you for joining me.
Can you hear me? Yeah, first time caller. I've been following you.
Welcome,
I've been
welcome.
following your show actually. There was a time I had, an interaction with you on your chat. It was a back and forth. We were trying to agree on something, but
What's
I'm not.
your
I'm
what's
not
your
here
handle?
to.
Let me see if I remember it.
You may not remember actually. It's actually some long time ago. Well, I'm not about. Though I've been following your show. I love your analysis, Smith Lai. Whenever it comes, you guys are
Thank
doing
you.
a great job. But I'm not here to talk about the players. I'm not here to talk about anything. I'm just here to do one thing. My assignment
Okay.
is one this evening, and that is to call out the NFF. I know that the truth is that I know that probably the players have their fault. I don't want to go there. The truth is that administratively, Nigerian football is down, down, down there. Okay, let's even take for example, we are talking about Morocco, they are doing well. Morocco has a very good league, but most of their players don't even come from their league. They invite players from, foreign, what's it called, clubs to come and play for them. That's because they have a very beautiful structure. Look at what Morocco has been able to achieve within how many years in their female football. See, give Morocco 7, 8 years from now. They will be, if we are not careful, if we continue like this, Morocco will begin or we start dominating female football too, the way they are dominating male football. See, I feel like it is high time we call our administrators out. The other man that was talking made a very valid point that this old script is still going to play again. It is the truth. We're going to see this old script play out again once it's time for the once AFCON comes now and Chef maybe does not get to win the cup. Before you start hearing all those 94 sets, sack him, sack him, sack him, they will sack him, and then before you know what is happening, they will employ somebody else, and the Eguava will come, play 2 games, do nothing, will not look for another coach. The same cycle. And a wise man said, you cannot continue to do the same thing the same way and expect to get a different result. It's never going to happen. We are taking the fact that, okay, we have talent, we are taking that for granted. Okay, today now, where was the talent? Where was the talent? I mean, we need to protest. We have to go to glass house and go and protest, because same set of people cannot be ruining our football and ruining it at the same time. Same set of people, same set. I can't remember the last time they had an overhaul of the NFF board. It's the same set of people doing the same rubbish because they have nothing to lose. They get the money in their pocket and they are fine. They get money in their pocket, they are good. We Nigerians were the ones suffering the heartache. Our football is getting down the drain, going down the drain every day, every day, every day, because of bad administration, maladministration. The other time that they did CAF award. Gusau came when what's it called? Falcons won the female team of the year. Gusau came and he was saying nonsense that the other teams that want to catch up, I can still remember because I watched that show. Other teams that want to catch up, they need to do more. This is to show that Nigeria is not. What are you saying? And you are doing rubbish. You guys are doing nothing to show, nothing. And then you will come in front of the whole world and be saying rubbish. You come in front of the world and be making claims that are not. Look at our female league. Just some days ago, Bayelsa Queen got knocked off by Asec Mimosa. I got to find out that Asec Mimosa was just a club that said about 4 years ago. They are beating Bayelsa Queen. Bayelsa Queen has been there since when? So what are we saying? We need to do something about our football administration. Let's even say our league. Restructuring our league may take a whole lot because we understand that there are a lot of things that has to happen. But even these foreign players we have, those that are outside the country, we need to manage them properly. In terms of administration, we need to manage them. I mean, our NFF, we like fire brigade approach too much. Other countries are already planning for the next World Cup qualifier. I'm sure that it is when like 2 months to that time, we'll be thinking of how to change a coach. Let me just stop here because I'm really very, very angry. So let me just stop it. I will not take much of the time.
All right,
Thank you so
very
much.
much, Batsindi. I can feel the passion through the screen. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I'll take my final caller for this evening. Olu of the Nigeria Football Weekly Podcast. Olu, how you doing, man?
Thanks for having me, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good.
To be honest, I feel like we were kind of mentally prepared for this result. I thought I'd feel much worse. I feel okay, which is a bit strange. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Like, look, at the end of the day, we have to be objective. We played all right today. I think we were the better team. I don't think that was any debate. I don't think anyone should blame Ekong. An error is an error. Things happen. But at the same time, when you see like the way we basically shot ourselves in the foot. South Africa and Nigeria drew both games. We canceled each other out. When you look at the games against the so-called minnows, which is what me and you have been preaching about for, my brother, maybe 4 years now. You have to beat the small boys. All these ones of doing calculator, looking at left, looking at right, it's not the way it should be. I think Osimhen was a big miss today. And I think Eric Chell needs to let us know in his press conference his ideas around playing Deserts. I don't think he was in a position to even succeed in today's game. Once Aaron Kodari came on, you could see the presence. I'm a short man myself. Look, use your advantage. You see how the South Africans, like the way their two wingers look so tiny against Basis and Co. Osai with strength. South Africa used to doing well against North African teams, but when they really come up against a physical team that has really good professionals, you can see them really struggle. At the end of the day, this all comes down to those first 4 games, my guy. I was looking at some of the results and seeing Benjamin Tanimo again, or Pesero playing a 4-2-4 against Zile Zoto, Lukman on one wing, Gianacho on one wing, Onuachu up top. And you're just wondering, like, what the hell were these decisions? It's almost like they were taking it for granted. Because let's be honest, before the AFCON, if AFCON now, we know Pesero will be very useless. Hindsight is 2020. Genoro used to qualify us for these tournaments with space. I will be upset that we're finishing third or that we're not attacking enough. And now we're in this predicament where we have South Africans trying to like flex on us, even though we were the better team. But ultimately, if you have 5 draws from 8 games, there's not really much you can say. We didn't do what we needed to do, and we have to take the blame for that. Not enough chance creation in the second half. I thought Arokodare came on. He should have started. He shouldn't have come in the second half. It's a bit of a shame with that his opportunity, which he tried to square the players. Because let's be honest, if he just aimed for goal, it probably would have gone in.
I thought he was shooting.
Really?
He went with the outside of his foot. I thought he was trying to call that.
Like he was trying. After it, he was pointing at one guy. Like, why were you not there? I was like,
I mean, if the ball goes right across the face of goal, of course you're going to ask why someone was not there. But if you're trying to square the ball, I don't think you go with the outside of your foot.
I see what you mean, bro. But it just felt like such a bad luck moment. Everything that could go wrong for us went wrong. Osimhen being injured. Let's be honest. Even though I thought the South Africans were okay, I thought we were playing the better team. If they had to play an Osimhen in today's game, because I watched. I'm not gonna lie. I watched every South African preview I could. I couldn't believe the disrespect they put on our name. But the honest truth is, we did this because we shot ourselves in the foot. We should not be drawing twice to Zimbabwe. We should not be drawing to Lesotho. We should not be losing to Benin Republic. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. We've had time to get used to this result and kind of expect it. We're playing courses in the first half. Baruch Kodari was not on the pitch.
Yeah.
I found this so interesting. It's like Eric Shell. I thought he was smarter than I thought. But now I'm beginning to realize that at the end of the day, let's be honest. NFF hired Eric Shell because of budget. Not be Labadia, they did not pay him. So we don't know who exactly is going to prosecute these things and what could happen. But at the end of the day, he didn't even play Oyedika. Oyedika is our best central midfielder. I'll keep banging his drum. Nobody knows better than you. Look at your Oyedika shirts behind you. You track them every week. Me, Seth, I do my best, bro. Bro, this is the Champions League quality midfielder. And he can't even get a minute playing for this our Malian coach. But I don't want to blame him.
Why are you now bringing his nationality into it?
No, don't mind me. I'm being a little salty. Don't get me wrong. I'm being a little salty because this has nothing to do with him. He's 4 games. He's won 4. He's won 2. We drew against Zimbabwe. Drew against South Africa. If we did what we had to do against the other teams in the first 4, we won't be here. So you know what? It is what it is. I think ultimately 3 things. Look, we'll keep banging in this drum. There's nobody who does more for this space than you. Some of us were trying our best, but we know who's putting hours. You've lamented all these things every day. It comes back to the NFF. Bro, fail to prepare to fail. You carry these boys to your pitch. There's nobody in the stadium. There's no green. You see where our players are doing their training. Sometimes they even train on concrete. Did you see them throwing balls around each other outside the hotel in South Africa?
Yeah, I did.
What are we doing here? This is a national team.
It almost looked like they were in the parking lot or something.
Brother, they were in the parking lot. No, it looked like they were. And then Gusau will go and carry his brain and come to Naples when Osimhen wins a trophy. But it's brother, there's no reason we should be in this predicament. We're still clearly the best team in this group, even the way we played against South Africa.
Well, how can we call ourselves the best team, Olu, if we cannot prove it?
Look, we know about on paper. I agree. The way we played against South Africa these 2 games, I think, still suggests that. Let's be honest, they still have that bit of a fear about Nigeria. I thought today was such a good example.
Sorry to cut you off, but we also, I think we respected them too much as well because the coach clearly did by playing Bassi at left back. People are trying to come for me now because I said Ekong should have started. But when I wanted Ekong to start, I did not anticipate him playing left center back and then Bassi playing left back.
Ekong should have played. Anybody saying any different is chatting absolute rubbish.
It's hindsight now.
Hindsight's 2020. That is a mistake a center back makes quite often. It happens in your career. He cannot take the blame. The whole team switched off. Mokwena played that ball in. That Mohal guy, that's the one time he got in behind Bassi in the whole game. And even that ball could have been easily dealt with. But at the end of the day, you have to say, our first half display was awful.
People were coming for me because I said I think that Frederick could have done better to prevent the cross coming in.
Don't get me started on Frederick. After doing the live stream, I thought Frederick was really good. He ended up having a very good game.
In the second half, it was very good.
But his inexperience showed. Remember that time where he lagoed the ball?
Yes.
Almost.
I see. That's the thing with football. That time that he lagoed the ball, had they scored, it would have been like, look at this Frederick.
They would have killed him.
They didn't score, so it's like, okay, yes, Frederick good. Ekong is the one that led to a goal. Ekong bad. Even
at this moment,
I even said even against the one that Brasai Samuel was caught off guard. Frederick played him essentially just like it's like the kind of ball that who was the person I used to play it at that time? I can't remember that. They just may not be like saying I'm me for a couple.
Let me give you the ball. Exactly. I don't want to take responsibility. Let me just pass it to Osai. Then Osai panicked. All of a sudden, the guy got the shot on goal.
And if they scored, everybody will be saying Osai, what's he doing?
Bro, we've watched football long enough. This is my problem with when people analyze NFF. or when they're talking about Eagles. You see someone say rubbish talk from both of you. No problem. Now you sabi now. You know what? Doing this whole podcast thing, I've learned that
You have to.
everybody has an opinion. It
At the
is
end
what
of
it
the day,
is.
yeah.
At the end of the day, Frederick was amazing and he did well, but he also made mistakes that could have been punished by a much better team.
Yeah.
But I thought he grew into the game, and I like the idea of them trying to like almost like prime him for a national team role. You know, it makes sense, especially with how he. I thought he was really good in the second half. No doubt about that. At the end of the day, the biggest problem: three things. One, for a team with the attacking talent we have, we did not create enough chances. We cannot be looking at the one Arokodare chance and be saying, how did the second half go? You cannot bring on Sans Uche in the 75th minute or 78th minute and expect him to do wonders. It doesn't work like that. I think Eric Shell needs to explain to us why he started Dezers. I thought that was a terrible decision, if I'm being honest. Like, the occasion, the moment, being in South Africa, you saw the way Kodare already, once he come on, could bully some of those defenders or just be a presence. So Eric Shell, all that my player, I love my player, I love my player. Brother, we know you were hired based on budgets. Labadia was before you. I don't even want to blame him because he's done all right. But at the end of the day, you cannot cheat good preparation. So all this thing always comes back to NFF. It's the only organization in Nigeria that failure is not rewarded with sacking. Gusau has been our worst NFF president, let's be honest. But you will see him go to Naples to snap picture with Osimhen if he wins Scudetto. But this is not a man that clearly has any sort of vision. I ever read somewhere, don't judge me, I heard he doesn't even really like football like that. Then he do politics. Sheyi Akiwumi was vice president under, what's that, our Delta boy that used to talk the most? Amaju.
Mr. Pinnick.
They don't put Akikumi there. So at the end of the day, there's no consequence for bad decisions. How I watched Guinea's game yesterday against Nigeria. If you see their new stadium, see the pitch. For me, I was like, isn't it Guinea that had a coup a few years ago? How did they build stadium that's this nice? Meanwhile, Nigeria, we're talking about Uyo. Brother, if Uyo don't have a good stadium, there's no reason we should be carrying our players to Uyo. It does not make sense. No national team does that. And we've said this time and time and time again. So until we get the good stadiums and good facilities, this one that they're building one hostel that looks like a facility in Abuja, it's not going to change our expectations. But at the end of the day, I also think it's time to move on some players. I think people are being harsh on Ekong, but let's be honest, with a big moment like this today, Frederick and Matthew will play for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
It's okay. Which is okay.
And the coach did not help by subbing him off at halftime because
Brother,
it just kind of stamped what everybody was thinking. You know,
brother. And
Ekong is
then
out of it.
for this same Eric Shaw not to play on Yedika, I thought was a mistake. For you not to play Arokodare after he scored Nigeria's last 2 goals in our last 2 games, I cannot for the life of me understand it. International football is so much based on confidence and how you're feeling in the moment when you're playing games. Someone does this thing for you, decide you want to play deserts. I don't get it. So he has to live with the decisions. I said on the live stream on my chat that Eric Shell has decided that he's going to live or die by decisions. And unfortunately, he has to live or die with what he's done. Truth of the matter is, I think he'll probably still get a goal going forward. But the fact of the matter is, what leaves a bit of a bitter taste to round up is, bro, we're in this predicament because of ourselves. CAF did their work. They gave us the easiest group. The easiest group of everybody. And we somehow decided to draw 5 of 8 games. Draw FC. I like Ogbono, but not that much. Where we are.
Okay.
So you know what, my bro? It is what it is. Let's see what happens in terms of regeneration for the team. Anyone blaming Ndidi, I think that's really, really poor. I thought Ndidi was excellent, in my opinion. Maybe, well, we all watched a different game. But when you see a player that's able to mop up opportunities at the right time and dictate the play, he gave the ball to Iwobi so many times. But you could tell Iwobi got some instructions to give the ball to Simon so often. And half the time, what did Simon do? I don't want to abuse Simon, but when you're a player that chooses to go from Levante to Nons to Paris FC, there's a certain kind of pressure you're dealing with no matter what you are. You support Chelsea, I support Arsenal. My brother, The pressure Arsenal players face is not the same thing Sunderland faces, no matter how ambitious they are. Moses Simon, when the moments are brightest, we just see these problems. He's still living off those 3 performances in group stage of 2022. But they will not give the same grace to Maduka. So let's just be observing. So anyway, we dust ourselves off. I don't like these takes where people get really rude and like, oh, fuck the national team. Look, we're Nigerians to the end. Nigeria is always a big deal. The fact that this will be the second World Cup we don't make, I'm sure some heads will roll. Something has to give. But ultimately, once you get the facilities going and you get the right administration, Tunisia keep qualifying for World Cups. It's not by accident. Morocco have put themselves in a world where now they're not even begging to a national. Do you think if Adarabaya was Moroccan, they'll be begging him? He would have sent FIFA the letter since when? So we got to live with what we've got. We're lucky we still have population and talent. But I think it's a damn shame that we're about to miss out on the World Cup for a second year. And then now we're trying to, even the dual national country we don't like, we have to support them, even though we hate them. But you know what? It is what it is. We go again. I do want to praise the fact that we played well today. I thought we're the better team. The way South Africans were talking, I thought they were going to whitewash us. But they looked distinctively average. And let's be honest, this might sound salty, but they won't do much in the World Cup. But Nigeria, look at yourselves. You did not do enough. Osimhen has played literally 2.5 games of these qualifiers. And the fact that we're still over reliant on Victor Osimhen with all the talent we have. And then the one player that scores 2 goals in 2 games, the manager decides to bench him till halftime. He'll have to explain that one. But anyway, we dust ourselves off. We've got 2 more games to play. It's still not done. South Africa could get dog points. We'll see what going on. And we've got an African to try and win. So at the very least, let's see what happens. But slightly disappointed, but we've got ourselves to blame. And NFF, until something rolls or changes there, we'll be having these discussions in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time. We'll have kids who still discuss this thing, my brother. See what goes on.
Okay. Thank you very much, Olu, man. Nice to hear from you as always. I always like your insights and your perspective on things.
Always love my bro. Keep up all the awesome work.
Thank you.
I don't take this thing for granted. And you're doing an amazing job. And thanks for the super chat, by the way. Love for that, my bro.
No problem, man. Thank you very much, bro.
Take it easy. Are we good?
Okay. That's Olu. If you don't already follow his channel or subscribe to his podcast, check it out. It's Nigeria Football Weekly Podcast. So yes, thank you for everyone that has tuned in. If you haven't liked the video, please hit the like button. I'll just give my final thoughts, and I'm going to reiterate some things that I've said before that some people might not agree with me on. I'll talk the main talking points for me. I think Moses Simon needs to step up if he's going to still be part of the team. If he's going to be one of the captains of the team, he needs to step up and needs to do more. His decision making has not been great in the past few games that we've played. He just needs to do more. I think the way the coach currently uses Alex Iwobi can be improved. I think Iwobi, they need to get him a little bit higher up the field. They need to allow him to be able to create opportunities for Nigeria and actually impact the game the way he does for his club. He doesn't get a chance playing for Nigeria. So I think that's something that needs to be fixed. I do not agree with the criticism that a lot of people are having for Wilfred Ndidi. I think Ndidi is still our best tackler, still our best interceptor. We need him to hold our midfield. Today he was just very isolated, allowed Mokoena to just be able to do things and the other South African midfielder to be able to run past him with ease because he can only cover so much ground by himself. So I don't agree with people that are saying Ndidi is not part of the team and things like that. Calvin Bassey, I thought Calvin Bassey was my best player today. Of course, he scored the goal. Should have been disallowed, but still a goal is a goal. He scored the goal for us, and he was also good in defense. What I liked the most about him was that he had that fire in him. You could see that he was trying to make something happen, and this is what I look for from our big players in big moments. Try to make something happen. Grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Unfortunately, he's a defender, so he can only do so much. The fact that he scored a goal from a drive that he started himself is already very impressive, and I thought his defensive work was quite good as well. William Troost-Ekong, big mistake. He should have prevented it, but I also slightly blame the coach for playing him as a left centre back instead of a right centre back. I wanted Ekong to start. I think Ekong should have started, but not playing as a left centre back. I think the coach respected South Africa a bit too much by playing Bassey at left back rather than playing Bruno or Felix Agu. And I think that Ekong being in that left centre back position caused him to use the wrong foot to try to clear that ball, and then that's how the own goal was scored. But again, I'm not going to just bash him and say he should never be in the team again because he scored an own goal. because people say that he has cost us this game. What happened to us scoring more goals? You know, people say Ekong has made many mistakes, but Moses Simon has made many mistakes. Ademola Lookman has made many mistakes. Iwobi has made many mistakes. Indidi has made many mistakes. Dele Bashir has made many mistakes. Just that when attackers make mistakes, you just say, okay, you try and score again. When the defender makes a mistake, it can cost you and it can lead to a goal. So I understand that defenders have a smaller room for error, but I'm not just going to say Okeng has made mistakes, so let's not call him up again. Although I do think that going forward, our starting pairing will be Calvin Bassey and Benjamin Frederick. I think so. And then on Benjamin Frederick, fantastic second half. I think his first half could have been better. I thought he made two clear errors in the first half in terms of his pass back to Batshuayi Sambo and in terms of the one that he just fluffed his clearance and lago the ball. Those things could have cost us, but they didn't. So, of course, we're not going to knock him too much for it. For the goal that we considered, I think his positioning could have been better. I think that he could have done better in dealing with the cross. It's not his fault. Bassey also should not have let his man get in behind him. Ekong should also not have played it into his own net. But I believe that even Benjamin Frederick will go back and watch the footage and see those things and see how he can do better. The boy is the future. The boy is going to be a Super Eagles player for a long time. He is going to be a key player for Nigeria for a while. I think he's a very, very bright talent, composed on the ball, calm in possession, looks confident. And even though he started the first half nervy, he grew into the game and handled Lau Foster very well in the second half. I'm impressed by him. I thought he was very good today, only slightly lower rated by me than Calvin Bassey, who was my eagle of the match. And yes, I've lost hope. I pray some magic happens, because it's football and anything can happen. But as of now, maybe we finish second and we go to the contender playoffs. Maybe we stay home. The way we've done so far, I cannot say that we deserve to be in the World Cup. The way we've played, I cannot say we deserve to be at the World Cup. So whatever happens from this point, I take it to the chin. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys in my next live stream. I appreciate you. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for engaging with me. Have a beautiful night. Bye-bye.